just use the free Get Upside Gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. Wait a minute, are you saying
Just in time.
gas with the Get Upside app? Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon cash back every time I buy gas. Does that actually add up to anything? I'll make $200 to $300 this year. Wow, that's serious extra cash.
Just in time.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code TIME for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your first fill up. You can cash out anytime you're begging.
Just in time.
Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code TIME for up to 50 cents a gallon cash back on your first tank. That's code TIME.
Attention Alabama voters. Stand by for a Republican election alert. President Donald J. Trump endorsed conservative Mo Brooks for U.S. Senate in the Alabama Republican primary. Repeat, Trump endorses Brooks for Senate. Speaking at a rally here in Alabama, President Trump repeatedly praised Mo Brooks.
Mo is someone who has fought harder than anyone else in Congress. He's got courage. He's an honest guy. He is really a fighter. With conservative patriots like Mo Brooks fighting for us in Washington, I have never been more confident that we will defeat the radical left. Your next U.S. Senator from Alabama, Mo Brooks.
That was President Trump endorsing Mo Brooks for U.S. Senate. Conservative Mo Brooks, the Trump Republican choice for U.S. Senate. Paid for by Club for Growth Action, clubforgrowthaction.org, and not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Club for Growth Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Stacking Benjamins with Joe and his good friend OG not only has great financial insight, it's laid back with humor too.
Joe and his gang.
And it's a great book, Joe. You're going to be autographing them, right, while we're there?
For $10 extra. No, I'm kidding. Yes, the number one way to make money. Write a book and charge everybody $10.
You know, Joe, I still have not gotten my own signed copy of Stacked. I have a hard copy, but it's not signed, so I guess I'll have to bring it.
I'm a horrible
Stacking Benjamins. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Telling it like it really is. It's the Dan Bongino Show, weekdays from 11 to 2 on News Radio 1440. Your WSFA First Alert Weather Forecast on News Radio 1440.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Print and Marketing Services help small businesses print big with wide format signs and banners. Right now, get $10 off custom printed signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. Offer ends 3/26. Visit staples.com/signage for details. Staples, the working and money store.
A chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms today. Coverage will be much lower than what we had yesterday. Any of the storms that do form this afternoon, especially, could produce hail to the size of pennies, nickels, upwards of quarter size. So there is a very low level 1 risk of a few severe storms, and that would be with threat of hail. Otherwise, temperatures in the upper 60s to around 70, and even some sunshine between any showers and storms. Tonight we dry out, and tomorrow for St. Patty's Day looking great in the 70s.
That's your First Alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. On top of wet, slippery roadways, we've got 3 accidents reported already this morning. 65 southbound at the Hayneville exit, on 31 at 65 in Hope Hole, and East Boulevard on the ramp to 85. We've got an accident reported there this morning by the authorities, so please use caution in all those areas. Trenton State will have its 2nd annual Cruise-In April 2nd. With vintage sports cars, muscle cars, motorcycles, and more. It's free and open to the public. Food and entertainment will be on site. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
Why are you driving around town on those old ball tires? Do you like living dangerously? Say no to old, bald, and dangerous. For all your tire needs, Chico's Auto Pros, 239-9510.
Good morning, I'm Jasmine Williams with WSFA 12 News. Here's what's happening this Wednesday. Pike Road School System announced its next leader, Dr. Keith Langford, will take over as Pike Road School Superintendent. He spent the last 3 years as the superintendent of Alex City Schools. There's another call to make groceries cheaper in Alabama. A rally was held at the State House Tuesday where advocates pushed their support for a bill to remove the state tax on groceries. Alabama is one of 3 states that still have this tax. Happening today in Lowndes County, volunteer plumbers, electricians, and more will kick off their project to assist residents experiencing persistent wastewater problems. These efforts are part of the Alabama Department of Public Health's Black Belt Unincorporated Wastewater Program. It's estimated about 30% of the county's population does not have access to clean water. I'm Jasmine Williams of WSFA 12 News, and these are your morning headlines.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's Medi-Share. Maybe you've heard switching to Medi-Share to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for Medi-Share is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Medi-Share works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need, 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE, 855-51-BIBLE.
In Alabama, we know a strong U.S. military keeps us safe and supports hundreds of thousands of good Alabama jobs. But Mo Brooks' bad judgment puts us all at risk. Mo didn't stand up for our troops, voting with Nancy Pelosi and Democrats and against every other Alabama Republican to cut off funding to destroy ISIS terrorists in the middle of the fight. And Mo is so weak, he even said voters faced a tough choice between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Just before the 2016 election, Mo Brooks said voters had to pick whether Trump or Hillary was, quote, the lesser of the two evils. Mo Brooks voted with the Democrats, against our military, and against supporting good Alabama jobs. Was wrong on Trump, and dangerously wrong for Alabama. Alabama's future paid for this for the content of this advertising.
Alabama.
By any candidate or candidates committee. Alabama'sFuturePac.com.
Alabama.
Alabama.
Alabama. Alabama.
Could impact how much you're getting done.
What's my name? What's my name? What's my name? What's my name?
Has less free testosterone. Here's the good news. Nugenix, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC, has changed the game again for men over 40 with Nugenix Total T, their most powerful man-boosting formula ever. And guys all over America are raving about it. Jeremy P says, this is the best product I found to raise T levels. I plan on using the product for the rest of my life. And how about Shane D? He says, I had no drive and was tanked out at the end of the day. After 3 months, my energy level is through the roof. I work out like most 19-year-olds. I am 47. Guys over 40, you need Nugenix Total T. And right now, you can get a complimentary bottle. Just text YOUTH to 42424. It's the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. But you can only get your complimentary bottle by texting YOUTH to 42424. That's YOUTH to 42424. Text YOUTH to 42424.
Department of Cultural Affairs is calling all creative minds. The department exists to engage, enlighten, and elevate a diverse, inclusive cultural arts community. They're committed to strengthening and showcasing organizational and individual cultural endeavors in our hometown. To advance this cause, they're seeking individual artists, artisans, advocacy groups, schools, and avid patrons of the arts. If this is you, visit montgomeryal.gov and click on the Cultural Affairs page to register to be part of Montgomery's creative community.
Tim James. Ben Franklin said there are only two things certain in life, death and taxes. Now, thanks to Kay Ivey, there's a third. Death, taxes, and Kay Ivey's gas tax increase that goes up automatically without a vote, forever. Tim James. Governor Ivey and the political crowd found a way to raise taxes forever without having to vote on it. Gasoline is a commodity. It goes up and down. When they did it, gas was under $2. Now it's over $3. All of this taken together is very hard on your paycheck. Kay Ivey's gas tax increase that goes up automatically without a vote. It's my opinion that the time has come to give back the people of Alabama a tax cut. I'm Tim James, and as governor, I will repeal the never-ending gas tax increase because working folks need a break. It's time to fight back.
Tim James, Governor. Paid for by Tim James Governor 2022.
Mike Durant, Blackhawk pilot,
POW survivor. Mike Durant, fearless patriot, courage in combat. Mike Durant, job creator, family man, American hero. Mike Durant is the fighter, the leader, the conservative outsider Alabama needs in the United States Senate. Mike's not afraid to stand up to the woke mob in Washington, and he won't be bullied by radicals hell-bent on giving our country away. Mike Durant will defend our borders, secure our elections, and stop the runaway spending from the left. He'll take on the corrupt establishment, and he'll never forget why he's there. Alabama conservative, American hero. Mike Durant for the United States Senate. Paid for by Alabama Patriots PAC, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.alabamapatriotspac.com. Alabama Patriots PAC is responsible for the content of this advertisement.
They are the two sexiest fat men alive. Pretty fun. And you can hear Rick and Bubba on News Radio 1440, beginning at 9 a.m. Depend on it. Sometimes you need to reset, refocus on your day. The moment where you take a deep breath and change the focus from the problem to the problem solver. This is Decisions with Kevin Elkins.
Tomorrow morning, if you wake up and the sun.
And good morning, Montgomery, Alabama. It's time to rise and shine once again, if you can. For it's another day. We have been blessed to be on top of the ground rather than the ground being on top of us. Good morning to you. I'm Kevin Elkins, and this is News Radio 1440. Hot news and burning issues. Sometimes not so hot, sometimes not so burning. Hey, but never cold. Good morning to you. It is time for our daily bread. It is March the 16th, 2022 AD. Today's daily bread is simply entitled Thanks, but No Thanks. Words we should use sometimes. Today's scripture insight comes from Ezra 4, 1 through 5 and 24. 2 Corinthians 6 to 14 says, do not be yoked together with unbelievers. For your edification, for your information, govern yourselves accordingly. And again, it is March the 16th. It is a day that has never been. And it is a day that shall never, ever come again. And once it's gone, you don't get a do-over. You don't get it back. You don't get to summon it from the past. You don't get to come back and do all the things that you should have done today that you didn't do. You don't get a chance to do the things, to undo the things that you do. So whatever it is that you do this day, make sure that if tomorrow should be, you'll be proud of what you have done this day. If you have lived a while, like I always say, you have heard many, many yesterdays. And if we are blessed and given the grace of God and a lot of mercy thrown in, we may, I'm not sure, we may see some tomorrows. But if tomorrow should never be, then it is this day. That is the first day of the rest of your life. Well, what are you going to do about it? Do what you can, while you can, for as long as you can, until you can't. But do something. Do something for somebody else.
Just as sure as seasons are made for change.
Benjamin Elijah May said, whatever you do in life, we should do it so well that no man living, no man dead, and no man yet to be born can do it any better. And I say, if that is the standard by which you live life, you shall always be successful. Oh, you'll fail at a thing or two, but you'll never be a failure until you quit. Give out, but never, ever give up. Good morning to you, Montgomery. Thanks, but no thanks. That's our daily bread for today. Good morning to you. It is a great day to be alive.
Welcome to today's encouragement from Our Daily Bread. Our reading, titled Thanks But No Thanks, was written by Po Fong Chia. A Christian school for autistic children in India received a big donation from a corporation. After checking that there were no strings attached, they accepted the money. But later, the corporation requested to be represented on the school board. The school director returned the money. She refused to allow the values of the school to be compromised. She said, "It's more important to do God's work in God's way." There are many reasons to decline help, and this is one of them. In the Bible, we see another. When the exiled Jews returned to Jerusalem in Ezra 3, King Cyrus commissioned them to rebuild the temple. When their neighbors said, "Let us help you build, because like you, we seek your God," the leaders of Israel declined. They concluded that by accepting the offer of help, the integrity of the temple rebuilding project might have been compromised, and idolatry could have crept into their community since their neighbors also worshiped idols. The Israelites made the right decision, as their neighbors then did all they could to discourage the building. With the help of the Holy Spirit and the counsel of wise believers in Jesus, we can develop discernment. We can also be confident to say no to friendly offers that may hide subtle spiritual dangers, because God's work done in His way will never lack His provision. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from Ezra chapter 4, verses 1 through 5 and verse 24. When the enemies of Judah and Benjamin heard that the exiles were building a temple for the Lord, the God of Israel, they came to Zerubbabel and to the heads of the families and said, "Let us help you build, because like you, we seek your God, and have been sacrificing to him since the time of Esarhaddon, king of Assyria, who brought us here." But Zerubbabel, Joshua, and the rest of the heads of the families of Israel answered, "You have no part with us in building a temple to our God. We alone will build it for the Lord, the God of Israel, as King Cyrus, the king of Persia, commanded us." Then the peoples around them set out to discourage the people of Judah and make them afraid to go on building. They bribed officials to work against them and frustrate their plans during the entire reign of Cyrus, king of Persia, and down to the reign of Darius, king of Persia. Thus the work on the house of God in Jerusalem came to a standstill until the second year of the reign of Darius, king of Persia. Let's pray. Loving Father, you know our needs. Help us to be wise and discerning in knowing when to partner with others and when help comes with strings that may cause us to compromise our trust in you. Thank you, Lord. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thanks for listening today. My name is Tony Collier, and today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
Well, it's time to rise and shine, people. It's time to get up. You know what time it is? It's PT time. Gotta do PT. It's only Wednesday. Hump day. Hump day. Come on now. what you say. Earn the pay. Oh, every day. Get up by the 2:45 and earn the pay. Work. I go to work. Oh, that's what you say. Hard work. Oh, yeah. Hard work. And on the Come on now. Not slacking. Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Come on now. Oh! Hard work. Hard work. I do it for play. Hard work on the airplane. Any early morning rain. Come on now. Hard work. Get it. Somebody find the first side. I think it had dropped out. Somebody go pick him up. He's getting old. Hard work. Send them on down. The mission is go. Let's get it. I do it for play. All right. Now, that's what I'm talking about. What a way to wake up in the morning. Now, of course, it's time to pay homage to all of our armed forces of the United States of America, as long as we are that for the time being. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and the newly created Space Force. Don't really know what they do yet, but hopefully, we'll find out one of these days. All right? Now, good morning to you. And this thing starts rolling along. There's a way, my boys. There's a way. Farewell to mommy's toys. They say that Ba-da-da-bum-bum. It's tough being Alabama's only paratrooper on the airways, but somebody's got to do it. Might as well be me. And good morning to Maxwell and Gunner Air Force Base. After all, this is an Air Force town, and you got to pay homage. I mean, it's their town, We Army guys, well, we just come in and hang around for a minute. Good morning. But then again, without the Air Force, there would be no airborne. Now, isn't that right? Good morning, Maxwell and Gunner. And to all the folks who come here from all over the world, to learn what they need to know, how to protect their people and their way of life. Now, as soon as we figure that out, we're going to be all right. Oh, and don't forget, sanitation department, police department, sheriff department, The maintenance department. Good morning, guys. Oh, yeah. Hey, you always got to say good morning to the mayor, Mayor Stephen Reed. Good morning, sir. Anybody else's butt I need to kiss? Okay, I didn't think so. I think I got up just about everybody. Yep, I'm a professional butt kisser sometimes. Hey, it pays well. Well, we all got to be good at something. Oh. Yep, everybody's got to be good at something. So might as well be good at butt kissing. Woo! What a trade to have. What that? So you put out your resume. Can you give me some of your experience? Well, I was a butt kisser. And how many butts did you kiss? As many as I had to. Okay. All right then. All right then. We'll call you if we need you. Okay. If we need a professional. We got some butt kissers here already. I don't think we're going to replace them right now. At least not with another butt kisser. But if we have an opening, we shall call you. Okay, that's cool. Okay. Just keep that resume on top of the rest of them because nobody can kiss butt like I do. I'm just telling you. So just keep that resume somewhere on the top. All right. Don't be looking for me because sooner or later you're gonna need a butt kisser. Okay. You're gonna need your butt kiss. So you might as well hire me. Okay. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You're professional. There's a lot of folks that are professional butt kissers in the world. You know. I mean, sometimes it pays well. I mean, if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna butt kiss, you should butt kiss to those people that can do something for you. Don't be butt kissing for beer. Okay? All right, that's not where butt kisses are unique and they're necessary because sooner or later, I mean every once in a while somebody cannot tell the king he got no clothes on. Sometimes you just gotta you just gotta make him think he got clothes on. Okay, I'm just saying, So let somebody else tell him. Okay, don't you be telling that stuff at all. Anyway, good morning to you. How's everybody doing? I'm doing pretty good this morning. Now, Tim James was supposed to come today, but they changed their mind. They had something else to go to and all that stuff, and I'm not exactly sure what all that meant, but I did get a call from my good friend Suzelle Josie, who is hadn't heard from Suzelle in a while, but she called us and said they got to do something today. So I'll let them do that today, and we'll reset. Hopefully we'll reschedule it before the for the. Now I'm not going to think anything else. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say they stuck a brother up. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that they didn't come. See, I know a lot of people think. See, a lot of people thinking well, because you're black. No, that's not what it is. Sometimes being black helps, but. They didn't want, they didn't want to not show up, so they called me and told me they were not coming. Okay, so okay. I would think, now this is just me, I would think that if anybody wants to do an interview on the radio, the best time to do it is early in the morning. I mean, business not open yet, ain't nothing open. Ain't nobody doing press conference. I'm just saying, nobody doing press conferences at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. Okay, they may do a press conference at 7 o'clock, but not at 6 o'clock. But that's okay. I don't feel bad. I like Tim James. So we'll see when they don't reschedule, then I'm going to feel pretty bad. I'm going to be thinking all kinds of things, but that's okay. Sometimes things do come up. I've had to turn down the president. Oh yeah, y'all didn't know that about my honorary Marine thing. Yeah. I got a call in the White House. Yeah, see, and they wanted me to come see Biden, but I had to turn him down. I just had to turn him down. I just, it wouldn't be the same. Okay, I'm just saying, so y'all want to see the letter? Well, I'll put it on now. I will put it on Facebook for you so you look at it. Yeah, because they knew I was done wrong. See, they heard about me all the way in Washington, D.C. That's right. I've been whining about this for 40 years. What they did to a brother. Just because I was short. I'm not going to get there. I tell you, this is my last year, though. If I don't get it this year, if it don't happen, we ain't gonna worry about it. I ain't gonna do it. I'm not gonna worry about it. It's one of those things that, they stuck it to me. I mean, I won't ever have the opportunity to wear my my Marine Corps dress blues and the beautiful white hat and the beautiful white gloves. I mean, I just won't ever get a chance to do that. I did used to wear a white uniform though. So, but no. Of course, the Marines don't have a beret. Okay, the Marines don't have a beret, which kind of sucks. Or do they have a beret? I don't know. I don't know if they got a beret or not. Do they force recon wear berets? I mean, they don't wear beret. I got used to wearing a beret and not that regular ugly hat. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so much for that. I know you don't care about all that kind of stuff. Me either. I just thought I would, let you know what was going on with I don't know how I got all the way back there from the gubernatorial candidate. Now I forgot his name. He's supposed to be today. Ooh, maybe me and and the president got something going on here. We can't retain our thoughts for more than like 45 seconds. Okay, but that's okay. That's all right. We can live with that. A lot of things going on today. We got some things. Coming up at 8:00 today, we're going to have Dr. Robert White, who teaches at Alabama State University. I think he's all in for this CRT stuff. I'm really not in for it. At least college, that's fine. I think if you're not smart enough to have a conversation in college about a particular social subject, then you probably shouldn't be in college. So college is good, but we don't want it. We do not want it in the lower grades. We just don't. We are too close. We are too close to the fire still to have a conversation without emotional attachment to the issue. Yeah, I'm just saying. Now we can all talk about the Civil War now because it's 100 years old or so. A little bit more than that, and so we can all talk about it now. But I guarantee you, when it first came to conclusion, I guarantee you, wasn't no talking about it without some family. I mean, a lot of families broke up over that. I mean, they got the Hatfields and the McCoys out of it. They got all kind of things, and so sometimes you just got to let a little time go by. Then you can have a conversation about these things. You can have a conversation about these things. Other than that, let it go. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Oh, let it be. But now college, I think if you cannot have that discussion in college, then you guys got the wrong instructors, or you're in the wrong school. I think people ought to be able to discuss anything in college. At least that's what I'm thinking anyway. There ought not be any subject off limits, okay, in school. Because that's what college is all about. Isn't that what it's all about? It's all about, it's all about people, shall we say, being able to communicate. Okay, being able to communicate. That's what it's all about. Okay, then. Is there anything else I need to tell you guys before I go to my first break here? Well, actually, like my third break. I'm just waiting for Top Gun to come out. I mean, I gotta go watch this movie. I just gotta watch this movie. I haven't. Besides the Ten Commandments, this is my favorite movie. So can somebody please get it to the theater so I can go watch it a couple of times? All right, I'm just saying. Top Gun. I could have been a pilot. I'm lying. No.
Weather forecast on News Radio 1440.
This report is for Blindster. Do you need new blinds or shades? Blindster.com offers custom-made blinds, shades, and shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds Easy to install to fit. Don't overpay for new blinds. Shop Blindster today and save big. Blindster.com.
The chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms today. Coverage will be much lower than what we had yesterday. Any of the storms that do form this afternoon, especially, could produce hail to the size of pennies, nickels, upwards of quarter size. So there is a very low level 1 risk of a few severe storms, and that would be the threat of hail. Otherwise, temperatures in the upper 60s to around 70, and even some sunshine between any showers and storms. Tonight we dry out, and tomorrow for St. Patty's Day, looking great in the 70s.
That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. We've got new accidents East Boulevard in front of Stivers and also East-South Boulevard in Norman Bridge. So please use caution there and watch for 2 other accidents, 65 southbound at Hainville and Highway 31 near 65 in Hope Hall. Accidents happen, go where the insurance companies go. Chico's Auto Pros on Atlanta Highway. Better price, better experience guaranteed. Chico's Auto Pros, 239-9510. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch traffic, this is major delay.
Why are you driving around town on those old ball tires? Do you like living dangerously? Say no to old, bald, and dangerous. For all your tire needs, Chico's Auto Pros, 239-9510.
The first best-selling non-fiction book by an African-American female author was I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, an autobiography by the poet and civil rights activist Maya Angelou, a true Renaissance woman, and was nominated for a Pulitzer Prize for her writing.
I can do anything because God loves me and I'm amazed at it.
We salute Presidential Medal of Freedom winner Maya Angelou.
Do you need cash? How about an equity loan in home, land, or even automobile? Mortgage Corporation of the South. We've been serving Central Alabama for well over 25 years, and we help folks cash in on the equity in their homes, mobile homes, land, and automobiles. The cash can be used for anything you want, and the great thing, your credit does not have to be perfect in order to be approved. That's right. If you've had a prior bankruptcy or slow payments, if you have equity in your home, that is your equity. You've built it up. You've paid for it, and it's yours. You can get it. So get the cash you need, use the money for whatever you want. Now, let's shift gears for a second. If you have perfect credit, we have some of the lowest rates that you'll find anywhere for refinances and home purchases. And the best thing, we offer 1-hour loan approvals. That's right, 1-hour loan approvals. Call us at 567-9000, 567-9000, or ncsloans.com.
MLS 232-876, equal housing lender.
Attention men, have you ever been embarrassed when the time was right, but you just couldn't perform? Now there's hope. The secret starts with a visit to Montgomery Men's Health. Men from 21 to 93 are performing better than before, even when the pills don't work. Their urologist, Dr. Tom Alderson, is using treatments that can help you perform for 30 minutes to an hour and a half of full male performance, all without surgery. Your total cost for the doctor's visit, all tests, including the PSA and testosterone test, is only $99. Give them a call, even if the pills haven't worked, or you have a medical issue like heart problems or prostate issues. If you have erectile dysfunction and want to perform much better, call now.
Hey Google, what's Project Veritas?
This message was paid for by the official funds authorized by the U.S. House of Representatives.
2022 is no time for beautiful windows in your home to be all covered up with the same blinds and shades you see in every home. And 2022 is definitely no time for cheap blinds and shades to leave your window saying, please don't cover me up with these ugly coverings. This is Ben with Just Blinds in Prattville. Seriously, our goal is to help deliver a custom look for your home to be loved and timeless for years to come. Visit Just Blinds showroom in Prattville today or online at gojustblinds.com.
Rob tried to manage his constipation with belly pain, discomfort, and bloating day after day. After realizing it was irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C, he found another way and finally said yes to adding Linzess.
Linzess, or linaclotide, is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess works differently than laxatives. It lets you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2 years old. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. There could be more to your story with IBS-C. Talk to a doctor today. Say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS. Sponsored by Appian Ironwood Pharmaceuticals.
He is the voice of the conservative millennial, the Ben Shapiro Show.
They're not going to be willing to keep the government shut down.
Today at 3 p.m. on News Radio 1440.
I'm sorry, so what is this regarding? The first one. Open up. What you're about to see is very disturbing.
What you're about to hear.
In the moments the FBI raided the home of a Project Veritas journalist last November.
Yep. This is our government at work. So why is it that Democrats, the apparatus of Democratic Party, always think they love to use government to do their dirty work? Yeah, they do. They love to use government to do their dirty work. Okay. Now they busted in Project Veritas guy. The FBI did, looking for search warrants and all that. I mean, they're like a right wing kind of place. But why is it that only Democrats use the government as they weaponize the government in helping them do what nobody wants them to do? And so, and Barack Obama did it. They did it. They came down here, even Becky Garrettson and them. They claimed there were all kinds of things. The IRS screwed them over. It's just, although they eventually did win, the Tea Party, I don't know, but Democrats, the only group of people I know that use government they weaponize the agencies of government to come after you if you don't think the way they think. I don't know why. Anyway, I don't have time to get into that right now. We'll get into that later on. Right now, I've got other things to talk about, but I just thought I'd show you that. That's how the government do. Wee hours of the morning, they don't like. If you're a right wing organization, or if you believe in what they call the traditional things of America, you are subject to be raided. Okay. Of course, the FBI is right upstairs, so they can just come downstairs and get me. Although I'm not really totally right wing. I lean right, but I ain't fell off yet. I'm just saying. If I'm going to lean, I'm going to lean right. I'm not going to lean left. Okay. I just couldn't handle that. But anyway, good morning to you. Now you know what time it is. It is time for the lessons of life and, of course, other things. Now let me make sure I get this thing big enough so I can see it. There we go. Okay, there we go right there. Okay, there we go. Okay, then. Now let me see. Get that down just a little bit more right here. Okay, there we go. There we go. Good morning to you. I'm trying to do all this. When you're the producer and the host, it's a difficult job, but somebody's got to do it. Anyway, the word of the day, though. Then I had this word. I had this word yesterday, but I thought I'd use it one more time. Okay, inimitable. Okay, which means that you cannot imitate something. Okay, inimitable. Okay, I meant to change that word last night, but since I didn't, I was busy doing other things. Okay, so that's the word that you cannot. That means you're incapable of being imitated. There's no match for you. Which, if you look in the dictionary on the inimitable, you'll see a picture of me. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Okay. Now, what are the lessons of life today? Now, this is a serious lesson right here. This is a serious one because most of us don't know that it's coming, but it is. It is. Okay, because it is just part of life. It is coming. It's sooner or later. These things are going to happen to you if you live a particular certain amount of time. These things are going to happen to you. And what am I talking about? Things that you do not know. Everybody has or will go through something that will change them in a way that they can never go back to being the person they are today. And if it has not happened, it will. Now, I don't know what that's going to be for you. I know what it was for me. I don't know what that's going to be for you, but just prepare yourself for it. Everybody, every last one of us, if we live long enough, will go through something that will change us in a way that we will never be able to go back to the person we once were. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad, but deal with it. Okay? If it hasn't happened yet, it will. All right? And that's my wisdom for today. And it's March the 16th. It is the 74th day of this year. All right? On March 16, 1521, Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan and his crew reached the Philippines, where Magellan was killed during a battle with natives in the following month. In 1802, President Thomas Jefferson signed a measure authorizing the establishment of the U.S. Military Academy at West Point in New York. 1926, rocket science pioneer Robert H. Goddard successfully tested the first liquid fuel rocket at his Aunt Elfie's farm in Auburn, Massachusetts. 1945, during World War II, on this day, American forces declared that they had secured Iwo Jima, although pockets of Japanese resistance still remain. The year was 1964. On this day, President Lyndon Baines Johnson, otherwise known as LBJ, sent Congress an Economic Opportunity Act of 1964 as part of the War on Poverty. I think poverty won. The measure was passed by Congress and signed by Johnson in August 1964. In 1966, NASA launched Gemini 8 on a mission to rendezvous and dock with Agena, a target vehicle in orbit. Although the docking was successful, the joint vehicles began spinning, forcing Gemini to disconnect and abort the flight. How was I then? I was 9 years old then. Okay. I wasn't thinking about Gemini. In 1968, the My Lai massacre took place during the Vietnam War as U.S. Army soldiers hunting for Viet Cong fighters and sympathizers killed unarmed villagers in two hamlets of Sun Mi village. Estimates of the death toll vary from 347 to 504. Senator Robert F. Kennedy of New York announced his candidacy for the Democratic presidential nomination. The year was 1984. William Buckley, the CIA station chief in Beirut, was kidnapped by Hezbollah militants. He was tortured by his captors and killed in 1985. In 1985, Terry Anderson, chief Middle East correspondent for the Associated Press, was abducted in Beirut, okay, but was released, thank God, in 1991. The year was 1991. A plane carrying 7 members of the country singer Reba McEntire's band and her tour manager crashed into Otay Mountain in Southern California, killing all on board. U.S. skaters Christy Yamaguchi, Tanya Harding, and Nancy Kerrigan swept the World Figure Skating Champions in Munich, Germany. Was ist los? Okay. Guten Morgen. Bitte. Danke. Okay, yeah, you know I knew a little German, did you? 1994 was the year figure skater Tanya Harding pleaded guilty in Portland, Oregon, to conspiracy to hinder prosecution for covering up an attack on rival Nancy Kerrigan, avoiding jail but drawing a $100,000 fine. They're probably still paying that fine right now. In 2003, American activist Rachel Corrie, 23, was crushed to death by an Israeli military bulldozer while trying to block demolition of a Palestinian home in the Gaza Strip. And in 2005, a jury in Los Angeles acquitted actor Robert Blake of murder in the shooting death of his wife, Bonnie Lee Blakely. 4 years earlier, a civil court jury later ordered Blake to pay Blakely's 4 children $30 million. Of course, Robert Blake, the eye on the spread, he was broke. He filed for bankruptcy. Listen, if anything will make you file for bankruptcy, it's being sued and told to pay $30 million. Yeah, I ain't got it. Yeah, I'm go. Yeah, I mean, that's just it. I'll be done. 10 years ago, before I leave this, President Barack Obama blistered insurance giant AIG for recklessness and greed for handling its executives $165 million in bonuses after taking billions in federal bailout money. Well, if y'all hadn't offered it to them, they wouldn't have took it. Okay? See, y'all trying to buy your way out of it. Y'all gave them the money. Of course they're going to keep the money. What else they going to do? Huh? That's right. They're going to keep the money. Anyway, that's it. That's some of the things that happened. Singer Aretha Franklin canceled 2 upcoming tours a year ago, saying a doctor told her to stay off the road and rest completely for at least 2 months. She died 5 months later from pancreatic cancer. And that's our world. That's some of the things that happened on this day in the world. Not all the things, of course, because history is everything man has ever seen, felt, or done. So my time is up this hour. I'm waiting for Top Gun to come out. I got to see it. I just got to see it. Me and Z, we're going to go there and eat all kind of popcorns and all kind of things. Watch the jets fly. Anyway, we'll be back. Good morning to you.
WSFA 12 News Update on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, I'm Jasmine Williams with WSFA 12 News. Here's what's happening this Wednesday. Pike Road School System announced its next leader, Dr. Keith Winkler, will take over as Pike Road School Superintendent. He spent the last 3 years as superintendent of Alex Middle School. There's another call to make groceries cheaper in Alabama. A rally was held at the State House on Tuesday where advocates pushed their support for a bill to remove the state tax on groceries. Alabama is one of 3 states that still have this tax. Happening today in Lowndes County, volunteer plumbers, electricians, and more will kick off a project to assist residents experiencing persistent wastewater problems. Efforts are part of the Alabama Department of Public Health's Black Belt Unincorporated Wastewater Program. It's estimated about 30% of the county's population does not have access to clean water. I'm Jasmine Williams of WSFA 12 News, and these are your morning headlines.
News Radio 1440 is WLWI AM and 95.1 HD3 FM of Montgomery.
This is the CBS World News Roundup, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
I'm Linda Kenyon in Washington. Another round of peace talks between Russia and Ukraine today. Our Steve Futterman is at the Ukraine border.
For a third straight day, negotiators from Ukraine and Russia are meeting, and they could be making progress. Last night, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, through a translator, sounded cautiously optimistic.
The meetings continue, and I am informed that the positions during the negotiations already sound more realistic.
And we may be seeing a significant shift in Ukraine's position on the touchy subject of possibly becoming part of the NATO alliance. Zelensky's now saying NATO isn't in Ukraine's future. Steve Futterman, CBS News, at the Poland-Ukraine border.
NATO is holding an emergency meeting of defense ministers to discuss Russia's ongoing war in Ukraine. CBS's Cami McCormick.
The NATO defense ministers say they'll keep up their assistance to Ukraine. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin.
We'll continue to support them going forward.
This meeting will also focus on the future of security in Europe with Russia's aggression. Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg.
It will have long-lasting consequences for our security for all NATO allies.
The defense ministers are expected to instruct their military commanders now to draw up plans for new ways to deter Russia.
That's our Cami McCormick in Brussels. It's the one-year anniversary of that deadly spa shooting in Atlanta. Here's WSB radio reporter Michelle Wright.
It was a rainy Tuesday afternoon when Robert Aaron Long opens fire at Young's Asian Massage. Jane is there getting a massage and hears the murders. She tells me,
I saw two bodies laying in the doorway of the massage therapist that had been shot.
5 people were shot there, 4 killed before Long murders 4 more women at 2 other spas. There'll be a march and rally this afternoon at the state capitol and then another service at the Korean American Center this evening to remember those victims.
Some employers are dropping college requirements for new workers. CBS's Christopher Cruz says one of those employers is a state government.
The state of Maryland has been having trouble filling hundreds of jobs, so it's eliminating degree requirements for 300 administrative and customer service positions. For other hard-to-fill jobs like IT, the state is hiring people who've gotten the necessary skills through military service, apprenticeships, or on-the-job learning.
The UN says it needs more than $4 billion to respond to the urgent problem of hunger in Yemen.
We are looking at almost 3/4 of the population in Yemen in need of humanitarian assistance.
Dinah El Mamoun is the director in Yemen for the Center for Civilians in Conflict. The U.S., the EU, India, and South Africa have reached a consensus on key elements of an intellectual property waiver for COVID vaccines. This is CBS News.
This hour's newscast is presented by Rocket Mortgage. When you need cash out of your home and a simple way to get it, Rocket can.
Are you more than $10,000 in debt? Feel like you're on a never-ending treadmill, staying in one place and never getting ahead with those minimum payments? You feel like there's no way out? Don't let the credit card companies bully you anymore. There are programs in place to help you get free of your debt, and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. The program at Total Financial Freedom can help you get debt-free in months instead of decades. Get off the debt treadmill and stop the harassment. Get free of credit card debt, signature loans, department store cards, internet loans, and medical bills. Call now at 800-533-6605 for free information. For about 10 years, Total Financial Freedom has helped thousands. They're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, too. Get off the endless cycle without having to declare bankruptcy. You'll have the right to settle your debt for a mere fraction of what you owe. Call Total Financial now at 800-533-6605. That's 800-533-6605.
Australia now has another health crisis to deal with after 2 people have died from that country's worst ever mosquito-borne illness. Scott Maben reports.
The health warnings have gone out. Japanese encephalitis is here, usually found in Southeast Asia. The outbreak has now been confirmed across 4 Australian states. 18 cases confirmed, with it fatalities.
It proliferates with a very real risk of further increases in case numbers and, unfortunately, in some cases, fatalities.
How it got to Australia still remains a mystery, but it's thought migrating birds brought it to Australia, where it's been carried by mosquitoes. Scott Maben for CBS News, Brisbane, Australia.
They're calling it the stealth Omicron variant, and it's fueling China's biggest COVID-19 outbreak in 2 years. More than 1,300 cases reported so far. Numbers in mainland China are still low relative to numbers in Europe, the U.S., and even Hong Kong. Linda Kenyon, CBS News.
If you're like most Americans, you're pretty much in disbelief with what's going on in the world. As we all know, global problems are having local consequences. Too many of them. And if the peanut butter really hits the fan, are you ready? Grocery store supply chains are only as strong as their weakest link. Don't wait for them to break. Now's the time to secure emergency food for everyone in your family. My Patriot Supply is America's largest preparedness company. Our specially packaged and delicious food stays fresh for up to 25 years in storage. It'll be there when you need it. Go to mypatriotsupply.com and pick up several emergency food kits. There are a dozen different sizes that average over 2,000 calories per day. Our food kits will ship quickly and discreetly to your door. Having food storage in your home beats government food lines hands down. Go to mypatriotsupply.com today and prepare for what's coming. mypatriotsupply.com.
$49 down delivered. Hey, Montgomery, Prattville, and surrounding areas. And that partially here will budget car and truck sales. That's right, $49 down delivered. With over 300 units available now. And budget has prices starting at $6,900. Many units with less than 10,000 miles. Compact, mid-size, full-size luxury, cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, Toyota, Honda, Ford, Chevy, Dodge, Jeep, all makes, all models, all on sale now, starting at $49 down delivered. Lenders on site for instant approval. Loans through local credit unions and national lenders, backed by Capital One. Rates from 2.38% APR and up to $4,000 over Kelly Blue Book on your trade. Prices from $6,900. I solve situations. Down payment, trade values, or financing. Oh, did I say $49 down delivered? See me, Matt Parsley, or see one of my solutionaries at Budget Car and Truck Sale, 61 Mendale Parkway next to Fraser Church, or 508 McQueen Smith Road across from Walmart. Visit us online at buybudgetonline.com. That's buybudgetonline.com.
Katie Britt is a law and order Christian conservative running for the Senate to secure our border and protect hardworking Alabama families from violent crime. As Alabama Senator, Katie Britt will fight to finish President Trump's wall, and she'll always back the blue. Here's Shelby County Sheriff John 78.
With the Biden liberals trying to defund our police, we need a senator who'll have our back. And that's why I'm supporting Katie Britt. Katie will get tough on violent criminals and fight for stronger borders and keep illegal immigrants and deadly drugs out of Alabama. Take it from me, Katie Britt is a strong conservative who will keep your family safe.
Sheriff San Diego has it right. Christian conservative Katie Britt is tough on crime and tough on illegal immigration, and she's ready to fight for Alabama families.
I'm Katie Britt, and I approve this message.
People of our Red for Alabama.
Attention men, have you ever been embarrassed when the time was right, but you just couldn't perform? Now there's hope. The secret starts with a visit to Montgomery Men's Health. Men from 21 to 93 are performing better than before, even when the pills don't work. Their urologist, Dr. Tom Alderson, is using treatments that can help you perform for 30 minutes to an hour and a half of full male performance, all without surgery. Your total cost for the doctor's visit, all tests, including a PSA and testosterone test, is only $99. Give them a call, even if the pills haven't worked, or you have a medical issue like heart problems or prostate issues. If you have erectile dysfunction and want to perform much better, call now. 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. Get your confidence back. 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. See website for more information on side effects. Treatments extra. Results may vary. MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's Medi-Share. Maybe you've heard switching to Medi-Share to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for Medi-Share is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Medi-Share works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want to plan...
Still ain't got my chair yet. I don't know what's up with that.
Within 2 minutes. Very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Telling it like it really is. It's the Dan Bongino Show, weekdays from 11 to 2 on News Radio 1440.
Okay, then. All right. So for this hour, it's just you and I. Coming next hour, we got Dr. Robert White's going to come on up and have a conversation with me about something. I'm not exactly sure what, but a little bit. Just got some sad news. I can't really put it on the air right now, but you always got to get two sources of confirmation. But if what I just got a note about is true, that's Montgomery has lost a stellar citizen, well known to many. But we will effort to find out if that in fact is the case. My sources are impeccable, but when you're on the radio, you gotta double check your sources to make sure that these things are true. 860-1440 is the number here. If you want to give us a call, whatever on your mind this morning, it's probably going. Now we can talk about anything you want to talk about. Oh, but they did find the young man who killed that 2-year-old. And of course he was on probation for a 2020 shooting. Man, we've got to get serious about people shooting guns. I mean, I love the Second Amendment. I love holding my gun in my hand and just right proportionally from my own. I love them. But something wrong with us in America. I mean, we watching too many cowboys and gang movies on TV. We really don't understand it. What we do with these guns is permanent. You don't get a do-over. You don't get to turn off the TV and a commercial comes on and you come back, or and you get to do it all over again. I mean, there's something wrong with us in America with these guns. I understand self-protection, self-defense, and all that good stuff, but my Lord, woo. Anyway, let me go to the phone right quick, see who is there. Good morning. Who's this? Good morning. Doing fine. How many times I tell y'all when I'm here, I'm doing pretty good. So don't ask me how I'm doing. I mean, if I wasn't doing well, I wouldn't be here. No, I don't pretend. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we all got our talent. We all got our talents. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm. Mm-hmm. Well, Paul wasn't American, so Paul wasn't an American, so therefore he probably wouldn't agree with that. But I yeah. And God made America. Mm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, and it also says, it also says that charity starts at home and spreads abroad. So we do have an obligation to take care of us first. We're not talking about making America above God. Practicality, from a pragmatic, America comes first. Who said we could? But who said we could? But America still, we live on Earth, my friend, and our part of Earth is called America, and America comes first. Again, without America, a lot of people wouldn't be able to talk about God. Yeah. Bye, Ed. Okay, see you later. Say, no one hear that crap about what you talking about this morning. Okay, same sentence, just a different day. Good morning. Pretty good.
Ukraine, no matter what the media says, we shouldn't go fight a war that the people are racist people, and they should defend their own.
So you think that everybody over there is racist?
people in World War III, they're not part of NATO.
Mm.
Why should we be forced to be in countries that they pay for help? Why should we help? What do they have on us to make us unwilling to pay?
Well, you know, I don't. Yeah, I listen. From an emotional standpoint, I totally disagree with you. From a practical standpoint, you're probably right. I just hate seeing innocent people killed by sitting in their living room. One of the problems, right? But one of the problem with now, I'm with you. But one of the problem with African nations is that African nations over there are the size of cities, and they got so many of them until they're all fighting each other all the time anyway, most of the time. So that's why it's kind of hard to get involved with them because we don't know which side to get involved in. Okay. So it doesn't bother you to see young children die and land in a hospital when they shoot rockets into a hospital? Yeah. Well, yeah. Mm. Okay. Unless you have a right to your opinion, and that's your opinion. That's cool. All right. Appreciate it. Good morning. Pretty good. Second, I got to tell you the same thing I told him. If I'm here, I'm doing good. Okay. Sure, sure. When I did see a video of that exact thing happening. Now, if it wasn't for color, if it was for color, I don't know, but I know they were telling the black folks that. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. And if that is true, what you say, then it makes sense now. However, I wouldn't know if the students knew that or not. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. You would hope. Yeah, you would hope. Mhm. Mm. 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 All right. Huh? Well, that's okay. Hey, appreciate it. What you say is true, but I would think that the students over there should know that. I guess. Good morning. Who's this? Morning.
One of Dr. King's many great quotes was, "The silence of your friends is a whole lot worse than the words of your enemies."
Yeah, I can understand that. Mm-hmm.
So if we let bad go on and we're silent,
Well,
something to think about.
yeah, it is. As a matter of fact, Ukraine, are they not part of NATO because they didn't want to be, or because we haven't allowed them in?
Well, they kept trying to get in, and they were, they kept saying, "You need to do this. You're almost there. You need to do this. You're almost there." But they're going to be across the finish line. But anyway, when I left for Texas a week ago, you were talking about guns.
Yes.
And when I came back today, you're still talking about guns.
Because guns are a part of America as much as apple pie. Unfortunately, when you're talking about guns, a lot of times it is not very good news.
You know, the incident that, happened in D.C. with the guy shooting the homeless people, they got some of the most strict gun laws.
Yeah. Chicago, yeah. I realize it's not the gun, right? The killing. I realize it's not, but this kid. I don't know if you know, a 2-year-old in Tuscaloosa got killed the other day by a guy who's already on probation for shooting somebody else, and a 2-year-old child drive-by shooting going. I'm all for guns. I'm all for, but the punishment for gun should be 13 times more severe than it is. If you're gonna.
Seattle, a 62-year-old nurse was pushed down a transit railway steps, broke her pelvis, injured multiple times by someone. So, I mean, people are being killed all across this country every day by straight-edge weapons.
Right. But, yeah.
Guns have been around. They're a problem in this country, but certain people in their hands, and those are the ones you got to focus on. And as you said, it's not the gun.
It's not the gun.
But in parting, Mayor, I think now looking back, that it was a good thing that President Trump got defeated, because think about what would be going on right now if he was in office. They would already have had the investigation going on for the 13 Americans from after got killed and all the people hanging off the plane, falling to the ground. He would have already been under investigation for that. Now they would be spending $40 or $80 million saying that he was in COVID.
Yeah.
With Putin again, and that's the reason he was standing down and not getting the military involved. So I mean, it's a good thing, because every time a plea party, Trump was responsible.
Yeah. And they're trying to make excuses, all excuses in the world for Biden. But hey, whoever's in that seat, ultimately, you're held responsible. Whether you are or not, you're held responsible. Except Biden. Yeah. All right. Appreciate it. Gotta take a break. We'll come back right after this. So my sources are absolutely correct. Montgomery has lost one of its favorite sons this morning. I'll tell you later. Don't know if the family wants to publicly announce it, but if they do, I'll tell you. We'll be back. Yo.
short list of quality candidates
Now,
on Indeed.
Tyrone.
Resumes match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Yeah.
Chance of scattered
All right.
showers and thunderstorms today.
All right.
Coverage will be much lower than what we had yesterday. Any of the storms that do form this afternoon,
Hey, Doug.
especially, could produce hail to the size of pennies, nickels, upwards of quarter size. So there is a very low level 1 risk of a few severe storms, and that would be from the threat of hail. Otherwise, temperatures in the upper 60s to around 70, and even some sunshine between any showers and storms. Tonight we dry out, and tomorrow for St. Patty's Day, looking great in the 70s.
That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seaver.
Right. No.
Radio
Yeah, no.
1440.
Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Trouble on 65 southbound on the Alabama River Bridge. We've got a disabled vehicle blocking traffic, and this is causing trouble. That's 65 southbound Alabama River Bridge, center lane. East South Boulevard is
Yeah.
Bridge.
Yeah.
An
I
accident
didn't know
there.
him well,
Boulevard
but
in front of
we
Stivers
knew
is
each other.
that
So.
location. And 85
Okay.
southbound,
I'll just check.
just past exit 22 in Macon County. We've got an accident there in Short. Whether your credit is
Yeah.
excellent or just
Okay.
plain
Well, at least I
slow,
confirmed it.
cash out,
Okay.
refinance, or equity loan is just a
Okay.
call away. Call the A-Team at MCS in Wetumpka, 567-9000. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
Attention River Region listeners, take advantage of 4 new tires with no money down at Chico's Auto Pros, Montgomery's #1 rated tire store. Chico's Auto Pros.
Mary Tyler Moore's first TV series was Richard Diamond, but her face was never shown, only her legs. We finally got to see Mary in the Dick Van Dyke Show, and later, the Mary Tyler Moore Show, which won 29 Emmys over 7 seasons. Mary and her husband, Grant Tinker, founded the MTM production company and produced some of television's finest series. I, too, am happy as your wife. We salute Mary Tyler Moore.
Ben Franklin said there are only 2 things certain in life, death and taxes. Now, thanks to Kay Ivey, there's a third. Death, taxes, and Kay Ivey's gas tax increase that goes up automatically without a vote, forever. Tim James. Governor Ivey and the political crowd found a way to raise taxes forever without having to vote on it. Gasoline is a commodity. It goes up and down. When they did it, gas was under $2. Now it's over $3. All of this taken together is very hard on your paycheck. Kay Ivey's gas tax increase that goes up automatically without a vote. It's my opinion that the time has come to give back to the people of Alabama a tax cut. I'm Tim James, and as governor, I'll repeal the never-ending gas tax increase because working folks need a break. It's time to fight back.
Tim James, Governor. Paid for by Tim James, Governor, 2022.
As we begin the year 2022, Dr. Michael Irwin of Montgomery Orthodontist would like to offer you some good news. He's reducing his fees for braces by 20% for the entire year. This represents a substantial savings of more than $1,000 for a typical case. Due to historic inflation, where the price of gas, food, cars, and almost anything else you buy has increased, this is a golden opportunity for a family to save significant money on their child's orthodontic treatment. Dr. Irwin has been successfully treating patients for more than 40 years in the Montgomery area. You'll also love his friendly and helpful staff, who has been helping him take care of patients for decades. The Montgomery family has been loyal to him, and he looks forward in 2022 to his opportunity to give back. They encourage you to take advantage of this special offer by calling his office today for a no-cost evaluation at 279-6910. That's 279-6910.
Saddle up for the 65th Annual Southeastern Livestock Exposition Rodeo at the Garrett Coliseum, March 18th through the 20th. We're bringing the best of pro rodeo cowboys and bucking stock to Montgomery for this NFR Playoff Series. The weekend features children's events and world-class entertainment, fun for the whole family on our new performance styles. Now, Friday through Sunday, ticket deals for active military and first responders, and the Sunday Fun Day Family 4-Pack. Learn more and purchase tickets at SLErodeo.com.
Alabama Shakespeare Festival presents Until the Flood, April 14th through May 1st. Pulitzer Prize finalist Dale Orlander Smith explores the social uprising in Ferguson, Missouri, following the shooting of teenager Michael Brown. Pulling from her extensive interviews with Missouri residents, Orlander Smith crafts a stunning theatrical experience that must be seen. The Chicago Tribune called it palpably compassionate and raved that it achieves a great beauty by bringing us together rather than driving us apart. And we're offering you another great sweet deal from Alabama Shakespeare Festival. Starting Friday, March 18th at 8 a.m., head to this radio station's website to get 2 tickets to ASF's performance of Until the Flood for the price of 1. This sweet deal starts at 8 a.m. and offers are limited, so act fast. Friday, March 18th at 8 a.m. Just visit this radio station's website and click Sweet Deals to get your tickets to Until the Flood at Alabama Shakespeare Festival.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's Medishare. Maybe you've heard switching to Medishare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for Medishare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Medishare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. Very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need, 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE, 855-51-BIBLE.
They are the 2 sexiest fat men alive. Ready, fine. And you can hear Rick and Bubba on News Radio 1440, beginning at 9 a.m. Depend on it.
And we are back. 860-1440, it's the number here. First of all, guys, I'll tell you about this in a little while, because I know I've been getting a lot of comments about this commercial when I'm out in the street. Okay, I just want to let you know, I feel you. I feel you. I'm gonna go over there and take it. I'm gonna be the guy that goes over there and let you know how everything works. Okay, but I'll tell you about that in a little bit. Let's go back to the phone for a second and see who is there. Good morning. Who's this? Morning, sir.
I want to commend them for the process. And you will know they've been very transparent in this process. They try to engage the community and meetings for parents, and meetings for educators, and meetings for the business community to kind of give input on what they thought the next superintendent skill set should be. And I think they presented 5 good candidates yesterday. I would like to encourage your audience because they have committed to having public interviews. So out of these 5 candidates, you have an opportunity to attend the interview process to see what their philosophy is, to see what their temperament is, to see what they, because all of them look great on paper. Their resumes look great. But until the interview process comes forward, I think we'll know more about these candidates.
You know, I agree. Listen, I know Dr. Keith last night was saying that, she didn't quite understand the process. I really didn't have, when I first went there, when I went to Lee, I had some questions about it, but I agree with you. I think they have been above board, but the most important part to me is this interview process. The interview process. But I think they've been pretty. Matter of fact, I was trying to find a chink in their armor, and I couldn't really find one. Yeah. Right. I would agree. Now, if I have any apprehension, it will bear itself out in the interview process because I'm like you. I want to know what their personal philosophy is, and their educational philosophy is about doing their job. And that's now there's where my interest is going to lie because on paper, listen, everybody looks good. You know, so, right, right. It has been. Right. And that's a great idea. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I hope it does. I hope you can send your kid to public school without feeling guilty not paying for private. So, I, right, right. Uh, Yeah, 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 absolutely. Okay. And I'm gonna be at all them interviews too. I just, oh, I don't? Oh, well, okay. Yeah, yeah. Right. Well, that's good. Well, no, that's good. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Well, I appreciate that, and I hope it does. I hope it is part of the process, but we gonna see. Good morning. Good morning. Mm. Yeah, well, and again, I don't know how cognizant that students are when they're in that environment to think about embassies and all that stuff. Everybody just trying to get the hell out of there. So I don't, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I don't really know if that's a good position to be in. Yes, yes. And the tire well, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
took a short game. It may have to listen to it, but hey, in the heat of the nation, and if somebody danger's there, you're trying to leave danger. You're not trying to figure out, well, my ride's over there.
Yeah. That's right. Danger close is what you want to hear on the battlefield, not in that situation. Yeah. Hey. What can right. So. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, appreciate your call. Let me take one more. Let's see who's been on here longest. This guy right here has been here. Good morning.
Good morning, Gary. You're on the road this morning. Hey, I want to comment on the, I don't know if it's Dawn or whoever, I want to get ready to call, talking about the people that get on a bird and fly out.
Right.
It seems like one thing, I don't know why he didn't let the Fox News, that's one of the news sources, but if they're the ones supposed to drink Saturday after, get this corona off, maybe that's why it's
Now, wait a minute. Now you say drink battery acid now.
Did you notice the president over there didn't even think they were going to attack? The United States intelligence actually was right, saying those people were going to attack. Here, the rest of the Ukrainian president was telling everybody to stand down. We don't think they're going to do anything, and they'll attack. But the fact of the matter is, the United States is the number one target in the world when it comes to war. So they told their people to leave. You know darn well those people could have got out of that crowd and got the big bird out because the bird was waiting on it. It was chaos. The people on the were giving instructions on who to get on. Let's give them the way out and say that the instructions was bad.
Okay.
I saw racism, but I can use instruction was bad, and I know them young people probably didn't know exactly what to do, and they were people of color, so stand back out the way until the other people got on. But I don't buy that they could have stepped out of line and got on the airplane and got out of there.
Yeah, I wasn't there. You reminds me. Of course, I wasn't in Vietnam, but I remember watching the movies and actually, it wasn't a movie; it was a newscast of them when people were trying to get out of Vietnam. Even wives of soldiers, it was chaotic, and a lot of people didn't make it. Coming to America, yeah.
I'll give them a way out and say it was chaos. They really didn't know what to do. If they wasn't Ukrainians, they wasn't getting on the bird. I can buy that. They couldn't have stood aside. Hell, the people behind it wouldn't even let them get off. They were pushing them up because they were trying to get off.
Yeah.
But that was a chaotic situation. I don't buy that. He makes a lot of sense sometimes, but that was crap. I don't know what. As a matter of fact, you probably got the news source from the source that he didn't miss.
Fox. Okay. All right. Appreciate it. Y'all hard on the news source. Let's see who's next. Okay, right here. Right here. Good morning. Yes. Well, I think did that happen? Mm-hmm. Well, but here's the thing that right, but here's the thing. Right. But here's the thing I like about Dr. Keith. But here, what I like about Dr. Keith. No, I don't like ghetto. But sometimes you got to be ghetto. Sometimes you got to go there. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well. Yeah. Okay. Well, well, sometimes you got to cuss. I mean, okay. What? Did you see me? Where? Did you see me over there talking to her? Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, ghetto's good sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes it is. Oh yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you got to get to, so people can understand where you're coming from. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. Good morning. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm lost of what. Mm. Well, they went out. Well, now there's some men in this mix too, and I don't know if anybody's Yeah, yeah, I don't know if anybody's unattractive since I haven't seen none of them. Well, there's a high probability. Wait a minute, it's a high. What? Okay, wait a minute. The T-shirt thing I got. What the bed and breakfast in the Bahamas? Who said who? What for what? Bahama? When? No. I was out. I was off. My sister-in-law was supposed to give me a discount card, so when you go over there, you can stay up there with her. But well, she ain't sent it to me yet. Well, I still got. Well, text me your address. I'll bring it to you. So I did. Yeah, I did say that. Well, now we don't know who's gonna win, yeah. Well, I mean, we don't know who's coming yet, brother. So we're working on it. Yeah, maybe catch up. I mean, it ain't like you ain't been there before. I mean, All right, appreciate it. Let's take a break. We'll be back after these commercial messages.
Weather forecast on News Radio 1440.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Are you a safe driver? Are you looking to save money? With DriveWise from Allstate, the safer you drive, the more you can save. At Allstate, better protection costs a whole lot less. Visit Allstate.com or call an agent
all that money
today.
The chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms today. Coverage will be much lower than what we had yesterday. Any of the storms that do form this afternoon, especially, could produce hail to the size of pennies, nickels, upwards of quarter size. So there is a very low level 1 risk of a few severe storms, and that would be the threat of hail. Otherwise, temperatures in the upper 60s to around 70, and even some sunshine between any showers and storms.
Think about it. My cheap was better than these.
That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seagree for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. And we just had a rash of accidents this morning. Highway 9, that's Alabama Highway 9 at mile marker 131 at Powell Road in Wetumpka. 85 northbound, there's an accident on the ramp down to Ann Street, the left lane. 85 southbound, just past Shorter. Whether your credit is excellent or just plain slow, a cash-out refinance or equity loan is just a phone call away. Call the 18 at NCS in Wetumpka, 567-9000, and MLS 232-876. Buckle up, it's the law. From Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
Why are you driving around town in those old bald tires? Do you like living dangerously? Say no to old, bald, and dangerous. For all your tire needs, Chico's Auto Pros, 239-9510.
Susan, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Get Upside Gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute, are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Only $200 to $300 this year.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code TIME for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your first fill. You can cash out anytime your bank account, PayPal, or any gift card from Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code TIME for up to 50 cents a gallon cash back on your first tank. That's code TIME.
Ben here with Just Blinds and Travel, and I want to remind you we are so much more than just blinds. We are timeless beauty and plantation shutters. Complement your style with custom draperies and curtains. Just Blinds also offers the best in American-made wood blinds and Roman and woven wood shades. And Just Blinds is here to help you make the best selections in motorization and smart home options, and take advantage of free in-store professional design help. Visit Just Blinds and Travel today or online at gojustblinds.com.
I never thought it would happen to me.
I never thought this could happen to me.
And then
It did.
it did.
We live life as though these types of life-altering incidents will never happen to us. Until they do.
Nelson Law. We fight for your compensation and your peace of mind. Don't just give it away. Nelson Law, 399-4988. No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
It's springtime and time to get out and get things done. So it's Ram Truck Month at Tallahassee Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Take advantage of low finance rates to save big on your new Ram truck or your new high-performance Dodge Charger or Dodge Challenger during Ram Truck Month. Plus, your trade-in has never been worth more. They give you the most for your trade-in. The best vehicles are always at TallahasseeAutomotive.com, where you drive a little, save a lot.
You did? Action, sure to keep you on the edge of your seat. The 65th annual SLE Rodeo will feature world champion Cowboys.
I didn't give you the number to the VIP line.
The NFR Derby. Be wowed by the skills of trick roper Ryder Kisner and pack in the adrenaline during the ultimate bullfights. And new this year, the addition of the WPRA breakaway roping and all 4 performances. Don't miss out. We'll see you at the Garrett Coliseum, March 18th through the 20th. Learn more at SLERodeo.com or call.
I can't crap. My bad. Okay, well, we don't take care of that. I apologize. I know I showed it. Now that I know I had something planned, but I couldn't remember. Okay, never mind. Yeah, ginkgo biloba. Yeah. Okay. Well, I gotta go get this PSA test then. But anyway, well, you know, man, it'd be great to still have you on with if Robert White shows up. Okay. Oh yeah. I was trying to get him on, but he said he couldn't do it till next week. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. Okay. Okay. Yeah. But I'm gonna get you on. You know, you. Well, I understand that, but I'm just saying. I want to get you on because you got important things to say. But okay. Let me go.
On News Radio 1440.
Okay. You know, I bought a brand new set of headphones the other day. You know, spent $100 for them headphones. Now, normally I don't spend that kind of money. So I got them. I went on eBay and I got them, or Amazon. I got the headphones, and I'm thinking for $100 they got to sound good. Okay, that's it. Ain't how much you pay for something. Sometimes it's quality. Because now I got my cheap headphones on and they sound better. So just because they charge more for it, don't mean it's worth more. I learned that lesson. See, you never stop learning. Okay, you never stop learning. So $100 wasted. Okay, come out better than using that junk that Longshore uses down there. Just the things that you put in your phone. You know, I mean, whatever. Anyway, okay, I had to tell that. You know, we got a couple minutes left. Not too many minutes left in this hour. A few other things, but I want to thank Willie for calling and remind, because I was going to try to remember to tell you guys. But yeah, I did go to the thing last night, which is rare, but I went out because I wanted to. And of course, there was another city council meeting last night. Not too many fireworks at the city council meeting last night, so wasn't a whole lot to talk about except those little machines. When you go into these stores right here, they got these little slot machines in there, which is what I call them. They say that they're illegal to have, but they don't really know if they're illegal or not. So either they're legal or they're not legal. I don't know, you know. But the city said we want our money either way it goes, because we got to put a sticker on the machine. And evidently, I don't know. Are these things legal or not? I don't know. They said they're not for cash. I don't know. I was confused last night, as the people up there on the board were confused. Okay, they were confused. I just didn't know. Anyway, Aronde Mitchell will be here on Friday, as long as I don't forget that. And maybe he'll bring somebody with him. You know, I've had an opportunity to talk to. I really had an opportunity to talk to McGinnis. Really haven't talked to him very much. You know, he's kind of quiet, because I guess one part of his district is fine. Everybody living good. Cloverdale, everybody living good. Got, you know, another side, everybody poor as hell. And you know, so, you know, one you give all the attention to, one the other folks just give it up. I don't know. But anyway, I need to talk to him anyway. So anybody see him out there, tell him I'm looking for him. Okay. Anyway, we'll be back.
SFA 12's news update on News Radio 1440.
I can go for that.
I'm Jasmine Williams of WSFA 12 News. Here's what's happening this Wednesday. Pike Road School System announced its next leader, Dr. Keith Langford, will take over as Pike Road School Superintendent. He spent the last 3 years as a superintendent of Alex City Schools. There's another call to make groceries cheaper in Alabama. A rally was held at the State House Tuesday where advocates pushed their support for a bill to remove the state tax on groceries. Alabama is one of 3 states that still have this tax. Happening today in Lowndes County, volunteer plumbers, electricians, and more will kick off their project to assist residents experiencing persistent wastewater problems. These efforts are part of the Alabama Department of Public Health's Black Belt Unincorporated Wastewater Program. It's estimated about 30% of the county's population does not have access to clean water. I'm Jasmine Williams of WSFA 12 News, and these are your morning headlines.
News Radio 1440, WLWI AM, the home of the Dan Bongino Show. Also on 95.1 HD3 FM, Montgomery.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Linda Kenyon in Washington. Ukraine's president is addressing the United States Congress this hour. Here's CBS's Steve Futterman.
In his address to Congress, President Zelensky may discuss progress in the ongoing peace talks with Russia. Another topic could be the very touchy issue of Ukraine membership in NATO. Last night, through an interpreter, he seemed to say that's not going to happen.
Ukraine is not a member of NATO. We understand that. We have heard for years that the doors were open, but we also heard that we could not join. It's a truth, and it must be recognized.
Today, Russia's foreign minister Sergei Lavrov said there is some hope in reaching a compromise. Steve Futterman, CBS News at the Poland-Ukraine border.
In Berlin, Germany, an extraordinary exercise in people power is helping Ukrainian refugees.
Picture it, Berlin's main train station. You're one of 10,000 dazed and traumatized refugees arriving every day, 24 hours a day.
So first of all, you will be welcomed at the platform, ideally in your mother tongue.
Ina has helped organize the welcomers.
We're not any kind of official organization. It's just people who want to help.
CBS's Vicky Barker at the Foreign Desk in London. CBS News is the first to report a formal announcement from the Department of Homeland Security. The Biden administration says it will shield Afghans in the U.S. from deportation. In addition, it will provide immigration relief to tens of thousands of Afghans living in the U.S. Security and economic conditions in Afghanistan have further deteriorated following the Taliban takeover last year. Pfizer wants U.S. health officials to authorize a fourth booster shot. Here's CBS's Monica Ricks.
This one would target seniors ages 65 and older. The company says it wants to maximize protection for the population. And medical experts agree it could make a difference, saying boosters tend to lose their effectiveness after about 6 months. The extra shot would need approval from the FDA and CDC.
Lawmakers in Tennessee debating another controversial abortion measure.
The Tennessee proposal would allow anyone, including family members of a rapist, to file civil lawsuits against anyone who helps someone get an abortion after 6 weeks into pregnancy. The anti-abortion measure is written to avoid federal court challenges.
That's CBS's Jim Krasula.
There's no accountability for these officers.
Marina Vergara on a report from the LA Police Department's Inspector General that finds 41% of officers involved in what's called out-of-policy shootings avoid serious discipline. Vergara's brother died in a police shooting. The report says of the 45 out-of-policy shootings over 6 years, 21 officers suspended. President Biden has released a statement honoring the victims of the fatal shootings in Atlanta that occurred 1 year ago today. This is CBS News.
There's always something new under the sun. CBS Mornings, weekdays on CBS.
This is important news. If you have unfiled tax returns, the IRS is shifting gears and ramping up investigations on non-filers this year. If you fail to file your tax returns for a year or more, or you owe back taxes, now's the time to call Optima Tax Relief before the IRS finds you. Optima is America's #1 most trusted tax resolution firm, specialized in helping individuals, families, and businesses get right with the IRS. They're experts in the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, a powerful new program that can make resolving tax issues easier. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, Optima's award-winning team has helped thousands of people protect their paychecks, bank accounts, homes, and businesses by putting their tax problems to rest, resolving over $1 billion in tax debts for their clients. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
More people could be dealing with memory issues after 60 than we thought.
I'm Tom Foti. Memory loss later in life could affect nearly 1 in 5 people over 60. That figure coming in a new study from the Alzheimer's Association, which has a further breakdown between the most feared specific cause and more general ones. The study estimates 6.5 million Americans have Alzheimer's. It cites 12 to 18% of adults 60 and over with mild cognitive impairment. That covers a number of memory issues, including indication of later dementia, but also other medical and behavioral issues. Tom Foti, CBS News, Washington.
Anna Sorokin, who's making a new bid to fight deportation, the convicted swindler claimed to be a German heiress to finance a posh lifestyle and inspired the Netflix series Inventing Anna. She remains in New York's Hudson Valley in custody. An appellate immigration judge says that the 31-year-old German citizen should be removed. This is CBS News.
As we begin the year 2022, Dr. Michael Irwin at Montgomery Orthodontist would like to offer you some good news. He is reducing his fees for braces by 20% for the entire year. This represents a substantial savings of more than $1,000 for a typical case. Due to historic inflation, where the price of gas, food, cars, and almost anything else you buy has increased, this is a golden opportunity for a family to save significant money on orthodontic treatment. Dr. Irwin has been successfully treating patients for more than 40 years.
I did look for these things.
He will also love his friendly and helpful staff, who has been helping him take care of patients for decades. The Montgomery family has been loyal to him, and he looks forward in 2022 to this opportunity to give back. They encourage you to take advantage of this special offer by calling his office today for a no-cost evaluation at 279-6910. That's 279-6910.
Attention men, have you ever been embarrassed when the time was right, but you just couldn't perform? Now there's hope. The secret starts with a visit to Montgomery Men's Health. Men from 21 to 93 are performing better than before, even when the pills don't work. Their urologist, Dr. Tom Alderson, is using treatments that can help you perform for 30 minutes to an hour and a half of full male performance, all without surgery. Your total cost, including your visit to all tests, including the PSA and testosterone test, is only $99. Give them a call, even if the pills haven't worked or you have a medical issue like heart problems or prostate issues. If you have erectile dysfunction and want to perform much better, call now 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. Get your confidence back. 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. See website for more information on side effects. Treatments extra. Results may vary. MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. In Alabama, we know a strong U.S. military keeps us safe and supports hundreds of thousands of good Alabama jobs.
What's up, man? I came downstairs looking for you. Okay. How much time we got? Oh, we got a couple minutes. Yeah, good. You know where it's at? Yeah. Good, good. If you gotta go bad enough, you'll find it.
And Mo is so weak, he even said voters faced a tough choice between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Just before the 2016 election, Mo Brooks said voters had to pick whether Trump or Hillary was, quote, the lesser of the two evils. Mo Brooks voted with the Democrats against our military and against supporting good Alabama jobs. Was wrong on Trump and dangerously wrong for Alabama. This feature page is responsible for the content of this advertisement, not authorized by any candidate or candidate's committee. AlabamaFuturePath.com.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less and people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save a typical family $500 a month, and that's huge. It's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. Very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need: 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Telling it like it really is. It's the Dan Bongino Show, weekdays from 11 to 2 on News Radio 1440.
We all know the difference between right and wrong.
I know you don't know anything about this.
Oh man, please.
Teddy Bear.
That's it.
And welcome in everybody. If you need to give us a call, you can do that. 860-1440. My guest is in the house. Talking about superintendents, Pike Road has had quite a few of them in the last few years. And what, got 14 kids over there? Okay, I'm just saying that, we're doing all right. All I want to know is one thing is, I just want to know, if I don't hear these two words, I'm not going to support any new superintendent. None. I'll be on like a dog on a bone. But I'll get to that later on, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're going to talk to my esteemed guest this morning, Professor, Doctor,
that's it.
Lawyer,
Pastor. Yeah, I don't practice law, Kevin.
Yeah.
So many people send me their law stuff. I'm not practicing right now. So.
Okay. Well, you need some company, because many cases some are going to lose. They don't need to be practicing.
Yeah, it's coming, Kevin. Don't worry.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just saying. Anyway, Dr. Robert White, you teach at Alabama State University.
And I also teach at Maranatha Academy in Birmingham. I teach Black Studies there.
Black Studies. And what do you teach at ASU?
I teach African American Humanities, and I teach in the Criminal Justice Department, and I also teach in the doctoral Department of Education Leadership.
Now I was good with most of those, but this education doctoral leadership crap that nobody's leading education. Okay, nobody's leading. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people get the check, but nobody's really leading it. They have dispatched common sense, logic, and reason. It's not part of the equation anymore.
Well, if politicians would leave them alone, then the educators, they know.
But if you're in the education process, I don't give a crap what a politician says downtown. You got control of that classroom. You got control of that school. You do what you know to do.
Well, Kevin, and obviously, we've reached an impasse already because your conception and perception of reality is not the case. So much has to do, sure, with the classroom environment. And I was at JD yesterday, and one of my good friends, Rico Cox, had organized some dads, and we had a breakfast with the students. And I walked through the halls, and everything was very quiet. It was very peaceful. It was like business was being taken care of. And you can't criticize.
Well, who's the principal over there? Let me give him some props.
Yeah, I met him for the first time yesterday, and he was very engaging. And it seems like they had a wrap on everything. And so
I need to go over there and look.
Well, yeah, but like I've always said, we're in a public relations war, and there's some entities out there that want to make us look as bad as possible, and that's purely to make.
But don't we help out? But don't we? Listen, one of the things I cannot understand, and you're a little younger than me, so you may have to reel me into the reality of today. The stupid haircuts that we let our kids show up at school with today is just absolutely insulting. So when you show up looking like an idiot, you're going to be treated like an idiot.
Yeah. Well, you have a lot of court cases going back to the 60s, actually, that dealt with that issue. And it didn't have to do with African Americans. It had to do with white kids wearing their hair long, and then other things. And then the afro comes along.
Long is good. Long is good, but when you don't comb your hair, you get out of bed. You look. I mean, people gonna. There's a standard of grooming.
Right. And those things are enforceable, Kevin.
But they don't.
That's you're right. But the community consensus has a lot to do with it. And
who runs the school? The community or them?
Well, I mean, it's a conglomeration of both: the parents, the teachers, the standards, that you set. And so having conversations about that is how the ball gets rolling. We've
been having a conversation about this for a long time.
Well,
and still,
on this program, but when it's coming to dealing with our young people, we need to have these conversations and let them explain themselves and we explain ourselves and basically come to a meeting.
I want to say this, then we're gonna talk about what you came here to talk about. It's an amazing thing to me that people who have been successful, who are now engaged with some of our schools, do not want to employ the same practices and standards that they were the benefactors of.
Sure, yeah.
We make excuses because it's 2022, and therefore, you know what? The building blocks of life have not changed.
Yeah, but what you're talking about, Kevin, is like, you're talking about maybe like myself and others possibly being offended, or somehow not identifying, with that type of dress or that type of hairstyle or those types of things. But I've never seen any data that showed that a hairstyle impedes learning. I mean, I haven't seen anything like that. And just because you wear hair a certain type of way, that doesn't mean that you act a certain way.
Let me give you the classic example.
Does it mean that they're going to be handicapped when they get a job or something?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. but so might the tats, you know what I'm saying? Because we didn't tattoo ourselves.
I ain't into the tats either.
Like this generation
did.
So To answer your question, are they handicapping themselves?
Well,
Absolutely.
Right, but let me give you the classic example of how what you say is I can let me bring it on home. If you attend a magnet school in Montgomery right now,
they would have the same.
No, I ain't talking about the hair. I ain't talking about the hair. If you attend a magnet school and you don't conform to the rules and regulations, what do they threaten you with?
Yeah, they kick you out.
Wait. No. They threaten to send you back to the regular school.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. So wait a minute. That's an indictment on the regular school.
Well, Kevin, I didn't come up in the magnet school system, and I didn't really believe in that. You know, because you know there are kids that are smart and kids that are becoming smart, right? And what happens is that the pool of kids who are becoming smart gets bigger and bigger and bigger because they can't get the attention that they need, especially in remediation, right? So you'll have a lot of kids who have a whole lot of potential, and they're like a missile on the launch pad, but there's no countdown. You know, you see what I mean?
Well,
and so a lot of kids, you know, I mean, are super intelligent. And one of the things we're doing this summer is we're doing a high-tech summer academy.
I saw that.
And Kevin, we really, whatever people have been donating and contributing to it, but what we're doing is we're bringing in high-tech software developers and gamers and people who do droning and those type of things. And we're going to put on a 3-week workshop for teenagers.
Okay.
And so they can come and learn about tech, they can learn about metaverse, they can learn about augmented reality, 3D imagery, you know, how to do all those type things. And it's going to be a learning experience for the teachers because these guys are coming out of corporate America to come in and talk.
Now, this is going to happen at your church?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna facilitate it. And what's gonna, I can visualize what's gonna happen. These guys and gals are gonna have to struggle a little bit on how to communicate. But the kids already know a lot of the stuff.
Right.
I mean, you know, they're way, you know, far more advanced than we think in technology. But the reading, the writing, you know, the science, the mathematics, you know, those are the areas where the kids are paid least attention in, right? So you have to have supplementary experiences, right, in order to reinforce kids, you know, kids learning, especially in STEM areas. You know, like with myself, Kevin, I had to have a math tutor, you know, growing up.
I thought you meant recently.
Well, yeah, I shown up need one now. I mean, you know, but the point is that, you know, when I get in and take the test, you know, having a tutor is not going to be computed into my grade, you know. So we as a community, mostly private entities, not public money, private organizations have to take it upon themselves to begin to fund and finance, right, these supplemental learning experiences so we can get our kids up to where they need to be. Because as I've always said, kids that can read at their grade level or 2 grade levels ahead don't chase each other around the community with high-powered rifles. See, they just don't do that. The statistics show they don't go to prison. They don't. Most of the people in the Alabama Department of Corrections can't read past, I think, the 6th grade level. So, you know, that tells you right there where the emphasis needs to be. But reading is something that shouldn't only take place in a school. It should take place everywhere.
Yeah. Let me take a call. Good morning. Who's this? Yes.
Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Ms. Lewis, how are you? Well, you know, you are so instrumental in my life, and I don't know if you remember me or not, but okay. So I get a lot of my tenacity from you. So it's good to hear your voice.
Thank you. But I've been trying to get in this city program. When I came back 2016, I was denied. I came back 2019, and I'm still trying to get in it. Do you have a class that knows somebody that can get me back up in the right century for this computer?
Yes.
I have all the computer and don't know how to use it.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Yes, ma'am. A part of our one of our components for our summer academy is to bring our seniors up to speed, you know, on computer technology, you know, how to, because, you know, because of my church, Kevin, you know, we've had to do a lot of Facebook and you know, a lot of stuff, and they don't know how to get on, and you know, it's a lot of issues. And I tell them, one, everybody struggles, and two, you know, there's some things that we can do. So yes, man, we'll if there's a way you could get me your information or just contact Kevin, I will make that available to you.
I will, because I served for 20 years. That's me in retirement, and I had a top secret clearance and all that.
Yes, ma'am.
They ain't so difficult.
Yeah. Well, I remember we used to hit the streets together back in the 90s when I was in college. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, good to hear your voice.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Appreciate it. I got her number. I'll get it to you. 860-1440. The reason why Dr. White is here because he seems to think something needs to be taught in schools. Now I don't know what the purpose is, but I tend to agree with the state on the CRT thing in high school.
Okay.
I think it because we're not far enough removed from that history. It is difficult to have a conversation without rousing and raising the emotional temperature of individuals.
Okay.
Now, you may disagree, so we'll be back after this break, and you can tell me why I'm wrong.
Okay.
All right? I'm never wrong. We'll be
Yeah,
back.
I know, Kevin.
News Radio 1440.
This recording is sponsored by Churches. Stop at Churches for the hot.
See, because a lot of people think that well, we don't want to talk about we don't want to know people to know what happened to us. No, I don't think that's how can you not know historically what happened? But when they first open up the legacy thing down there, or the monument thing down there, some kid slapped a white kid, saying, "You shouldn't have did that, man." And the kid said,
The black folk getting slapped now. You see, I mean, it's the same. What you look at is you look at the pattern, right? And you look at the reoccurrence of it, right?
And you can pull that chair over if you want to.
Because it's like most of your search and seizure cases, right? That give rights to the people, right? Involve African Americans.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Mount versus Ohio, Terry versus Ohio. I mean, you see what I'm saying? You got all these cases that had to do with, and so when you see those same violations taking place at the state level, and it is a blatant disrespect of the Constitution. See, it's not disrespecting black people. It's disrespecting the Constitution.
But it's in the Constitution what whoever you in front of at that moment say it is.
No, that's what Justice Wendell Oliver Holmes said. That's what he said, which is one of the worst justices we've ever had. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Blind and deaf, Helen Keller was an undisciplined child until teacher Anne Sullivan came into her life. Their relationship was immortalized in The Miracle Worker, and no one will ever forget how Sullivan taught Helen to communicate by spelling out words in her hand. Keller became a world-renowned author and lecturer and a global ambassador for the disabled.
You could have killed a whole bunch of
Extraordinary
people.
Helen Keller.
But whatever logic behind that is saying we're going to release this person that has at least 7 families after him. At least 7. You see what I'm saying? And we're going to release that person back into the question was not whether he did it or not. There were witnesses, there were video. You see what I'm saying? But you release people back, and so now the person that shot me is in the drive-through line with me at McDonald's. He just did it. You see what I'm saying? Might he not try to finish the job?
Prices from $6,900.
You see, somebody that kicked your door in, somebody that that stole your stuff, you saw them get arrested and they laughing and giggling. You see what it's a joke to them. And you look up and they at the car wash the next day.
Across from Walmart.
You see?
Online at
What? You see what I'm saying? The psychology of it is very simple. It's not something drawn out. It's not some carryover from slavery or black on black crime. We would talk to hate. No, it's not that. It is the fundamental aspect of what a republic is and what happens when you don't get justice. What happens when you don't, that's what the cowboy movies were about. The whole point of the cowboy movies was corrupt judges. Like even if you remember Tombstone, right? And you look at all of those cowboy movies, was people had to take matters into their own hands because the justice system was corrupt. You see? And hang them high. See, all of those movies were about that.
How did Thurgood Marshall go into a white court in Kansas when Brown versus Board of Education, with the system that arguably was against him?
Because of the maneuvering of the government and the I guess malleability at the time of the Supreme Court. See, because here's the thing, Kevin. In America, it's about who your judges are. It's not about the truth. It's not about, see, whenever you have just Supreme Court judges or whatever to make pre-commitments on how they're going to rule on something without hearing the facts, they've already been compromised. See, they've already, you see what I'm saying? If I was running for a judge, I would not make one pre-commitment on how I'm going to rule on anything. You see what I'm saying? But when I come in and I come in under the guise or under the auspices or with the pre-commitment to end abortion, and you notice they don't do it, you know, or to,
well, they can't.
Well, that's my point. I mean, you can.
Well, they could.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? But they already have a commitment to something without even understanding the facts or hearing the facts, right? That's what you call judicial advocacy. You know, forget what the Democrat people do. So, yeah. So if you go back and look, there's several books written on it. One book called All Deliberate Speed talked about that. It had to do with more of the judge's ability to navigate around a consent decree. Yeah, it was. But Kevin, you had to have desegregation lawsuits in every state almost, because each state was not going to do it. You know, like Alabama said, if you want to do it, then Alabama.
But I guess I asked the question. The reason why I use him because lawyers whine a lot about the law. When a black man went into a white court at a time in America that he shouldn't have won that case, but he did.
Yeah, but here again, the court had a way out, right? Because they did not want to do anything that would cause any type of chaos, right? Social chaos. Right? It was already there. So what they do is, and if you read the justice's opinion, you know, he mentions with all deliberate speed, you know, but it never defines what all deliberate speed is. So you don't have integration now, because as soon as that decree came out, that's when private schools popped up.
Sometimes
you know what I'm saying? And that's
so you tell me there were no private schools before 1954?
No, I'm saying the majority of them emerged after Brown versus Board. That's where a lot of you are like the white
St. James did
and all of that. Yeah. So now in all these counties, you got like, you know, you have public schools, and then you have the private academies, you know, and those private academies have a lot of advantages over public schools because the private academies aren't money.
You see? And you can hear Rick and Bubba on News Radio 1440, beginning at 9 a.m. Depend on it.
And we are back. Okay, I'm going to get back to Dr. White. Let him have this conversation. Let him say what he came to say. I have to tell you about this word. Listen, guys, this is for the guy. This is for the guy, not Dr. White, because Dr. White's the man, not him. But for you older guys out there, you don't feel the way you used to feel, right? You used to have a bunch of energy. Your libido was up there. I mean, you were the man with a big M. But all of a sudden, you got older. Things didn't happen. That's called low T. That's testosterone.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah, that testosterone. now, men need that. Now, women got some of it, but we need more of it. Okay. And if something's wrong with yours, you need to go to the Montgomery Men's Healthcare. Okay, and call them 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. A lot of guys suffer from low T. Nothing to be ashamed about. You get past 40 years old, things don't work. Right. What used to look up now looking down. Right. What can I tell you? But get a little of that T. Yep. Check your low T's, and for $99, you can go over to Montgomery's Health. Okay, Montgomery's Men's Health, and they'll take your testosterone level, PSA. I don't really know what a PSA test is, but whatever it is, they'll give you that too. Okay, and you'll get your results back in a matter of minutes, not months. Okay, $99 is going down. Listen, if somebody said you can spend $99 and turn your life around, wouldn't you spend the $99? Me too. Okay, spend the $99. Go over there, let them check you out. Get your energy back. I don't know if I can get your six-pack back for you, but we can get some of that energy back, get your libido up. Things. I mean, you got to have some testosterone. A lot of women in America say we got too much of that. Well, not really. We need some more, because that stuff is what makes you jump in front of her in the window at night. You hear something, don't tell her to get up. You need to get up and go out there and handle your business. Okay, that's what testosterone do for you. Okay, so give them a call. Montgomery Men's Health, 334-440-3663, and call them today. Okay, the best $100 you'll ever spend. Hell, it ain't even 100. It's 99.99.
All right.
All right. Anyway, I guess Dr. Robert White.
And Kevin, that's another, man, I can talk about that. but that's a whole lot better and more safer than getting them pills, man. That's what's killing a lot of people.
Yeah. We may not want to go there.
You may want to watch that. Yeah.
So spend that $99.
That's right.
Okay, 334-440-3663. But I brought you up here today because you are a proponent of teaching critical race theory.
No, I'm a proponent of politicians keeping their hands out of the classroom to the greatest extent possible, especially when the government tries to monitor conversations and make conversation a government activity. And as an educator of almost 30 years, it's very offensive, and then it's very troubling, and it throws up all types of historical red flags when government tries to begin to tell you what divisive rhetoric is, when they try to censure teachers and then threaten to have them fired simply for having certain types of discussion that are in the public domain in every other aspect of our society. So to limit or to put a gag order on having a particular historical, factual, qualitative, and quantitative conversation, in my opinion, I think it's socialist, I think it's fascist, I think it's an intrusion into free thought, everything that makes America what it is. Our republic is a republic of free thinkers, and we don't need people telling us. And Kevin, I have to make a retraction, because I referred to the people last time as rednecks, and I've got friends that are rednecks, and so they were like, well, look, man, how dare you associate us with that? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I got to apologize to my friends up there in Talcott County and Tallapoosa County who listen to you, because, brothers, I wasn't talking about y'all.
No.
I'm talking about the people who are trying to stifle us from having conversation that we can grow from. So you have to ask yourself the question, what politic is behind stifling the truth? You see what I'm saying? What politic is so threatened by us having conversations about what happened in the past, to the point to where they have to threaten teachers and fire them just for simply having the conversation? What they've done is actually pique their card.
Do you believe that freedom of speech does not necessarily give you freedom from speech?
Right. Well, I mean, the freedom of speech is limited. The freedom of action is even more limited, But the point is that embedded in the First Amendment is the right for us to assemble, the right for us to have grievances addressed, the right to freedom of freedom from religion, you know, the right of free speech and so forth. But the access to free and discussion, right, and dialogue is critical to the intellectual advancement of people. So when you begin to say, okay, well, you can't talk about this and you can't talk about that, and then you don't define what it is, and it's so nebulous. And the whole point is to scare people and to use draconian techniques when there are already measures in place to monitor those types of things, right? You do research because in our law class, we have a lot of we have instances to where you have people who've been disinvited, right? They'll come to speak, and I'm totally against that.
Yeah,
right.
Me too.
They did that at Auburn. I'm totally against it. Just because somebody has a particular point of view, that doesn't mean that they shouldn't have an opportunity to speak, even if it's offensive. Because whenever you're dealing with emotional issues, and you know you're going to have some people who feelings are going to get hurt. Well, that's okay. You see what I'm saying? Because, you know, you're preparing people, you know, to have to deal with all types of different people. But the offensiveness is not the content, right? If someone is offended, that's just the response to the content. So a school can monitor content, but how in the world can you determine whether somebody's offended or not?
Sure.
So yeah.
Let me take up a call for you. Good morning on there with Dr. White. Morning.
Thank you, sir.
Well, I appreciate it once I know the purpose of the conversation.
Right. Thank you, brother. God bless you too. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, I'm you know, but at the end of this conversation, I'm probably still going to believe what I believe. Yeah. But I don't mind listening to because everyone, a tree that won't bend will break.
But see, Kevin, they don't want to even have the conversation. See, that's the thing. See, I'm from Tuskegee, but I went to high school in Tallapoosa County. And the gentleman that's sponsoring the bill, Ed Oliver, I know his family knows me, I've known him for a long time. And we went to the same high school. So I put articles in the Alexander City Outlook challenging him to a debate, right, at the high school. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Let's let our contemporary issues teachers, our economics teachers, our government teachers see what they produce. Because it'll be a good thing for them to see two graduates of their high school debate this particular issue. Mm-hmm. But since then, you don't see any public debate and discourse on the issue. What you see is a mob coming to a high school or to a school board meeting to utterly disrupt things when they don't even teach it in the school system, when it's not even a part of the curriculum. So it's a red herring in most instances, but at the same time, you know, we can use this as an opportunity to emphasize the history. And it's not a ban on Confederate. You need to teach Confederate history, you know, because it's a part of American history. I go to conferences that are about Confederate history. You see what I'm saying? So it's not like anybody. I'm not offended when I sit up there and listen, you know, when I learn something. But you're dealing with a group of people who don't want you to learn.
Okay.
and are afraid,
All right. Who's
to address certain issues.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah. No, I didn't say I didn't like the government. I didn't say what I said was no, I didn't.
No, he didn't say that.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
No, he didn't say
No, I
that.
didn't. No, I didn't. What I said was I did not like the government stifling the conversations, and I did not like government sanctioned conversations. That was what I was.
Who came in under CRT, it came under parents who were forced to stay home and start looking at the curriculum of their children.
Now, what happened was, if you want to be accurate, what the kids did was they came home and asked the parents. They came home and asked the parents, why did we do these things? And is this true? And the parents couldn't defend it. Now, if you want to talk about I got so many friends.
Wait a minute, you talking to one now?
I mean, yeah, man, I got, yeah.
Okay, well, I don't want to.
Yeah, we'll say that for the comedy hour.
Yeah, yeah. Good morning on there. Good morning. Yeah.
And around the world that there is an issue. And it's only because white people with white privilege, like this caller before, have to answer to his descendants about what his forefathers did to black people. That they raped them, that they stole them, that they were pedophiles, that they were homosexual. And most of the people against critical race theory are those who have one or more attributes to the characteristics of those slave owners, period. They don't want their grandchildren to know that their great-grandfather, great-children, soul children, fed black children, alligators for fun. They don't want that to be known that they have old money, loan money off the back of the project.
Right. And see, Kevin, a big part of this, right. And a big part of this is the fact that when you do critical analysis, you see just how much of American wealth, of American wealth is unearned. See, because you can qualitatively and quantitatively do the analysis, you see to see just how much of American society has been deficient purely because of racism. So the people, with my experience and all, like I said, I've never practiced law a day in my life, but I've been involved in a lot of these. I'm an expert witness, right, in race discrimination lawsuits. And a lot of instances, these people who are pushing this bill act like defendants who know they have to pay, but are trying to mitigate damages as much as possible by stopping the conversations that actually could make for resolution and reconciliation. So, and another point I want to make, Kevin, also, is that let's say this: we've got all of these museums in Montgomery.
Hold on a second,
and all of these displays in Montgomery, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have any curriculum to teach the kids the history.
Good morning, you on there?
Hey, Kevin, good morning. This is Dr. White. Good morning to you.
What's up?
And everything. Hey, not so much. And I think the real problem is that we have, there are some people that have problems reconciling critical race facts versus critical race theory. And that's pretty much the major issue that we're dealing with. I wanna also say this, if this thing happens to stay in effect, Kevin, 30, 40, 50 years from now, it's going to be a critical race theory issue that you had the first black president and your first black vice president. It's going to be illegal to even teach that. And so, because it can go a little too far, but you know where all this started, and I'm thinking part of it. You remember the protests that we had that erupted around the nation, And you saw so many white folks actually come on and protest with so many black folks and everything. And I think, you know, you had some people say, well, obviously these white folks don't know what they're doing. And then I think right after that, you had a thing where I forgot what you call it, Tim, where they were tearing down statues of, you know, monuments of, you know, racist KKK members and everything else. And it wasn't just black people doing it, it was white folks doing it. And so I'm thinking that it had a lot to do with that. And there's the old saying, divided you fall and together you stand. You got some people that just don't want to see that.
Right.
And I think also there's an issue where people can't handle the truth. You know, and they don't want to, you know, like Karen admitted. I mean, there's some truth to that.
But let me ask both of you guys a question.
But there's a lot of truth to that.
But let me ask both of you guys a question. There's never been a human species. There's never been anybody in the human species, group, subgroup that doesn't have problems and issues with the we got
classroom, but Kevin, in the classroom, which is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the classroom. You're supposed to discuss factual, qualitative, quantitative, historical things, right? Now, whenever we bring race into a scientific discussion,
right?
You see what I'm saying? The illogical and unreasonable and irrational aspect of white supremacy slaps you in the face because it cannot be supported by any type of, you say anything but brute power and force. So when I spoke at the public hearing, and there was about 20 people that spoke at the public hearing against House Bill 312, you did not have one, what I saw, response, right, from the majority of, you know, a political party, because to me, it seemed like that they had either not understood what critical race theory is to begin with, or had already had their marching orders, you know, to go in a certain direction, regardless of the logic that you're making. And here again, what makes this insulting to a lot of faculty is the fact that you're trying to mess with the classroom. And that's exactly what happened at the end of slavery. That's what happened with Brown versus Board of Education, when they started ripping the Constitution out of the history books and ripping the Declaration of Independence out of the history books, so black kids would not actually know what they have a right to.
Gotta go to break. When we come back with the epilogue, that's us smart people can use that word. That means the last segment right after this. This is a 3-hour conversation. At least 2. Yeah. The question: If my dog, you come to my house, my dog bites you. I beat the hell out of the dog right in front of you, and at that moment, okay, right, he deserves some consequence for what he did. But you've been coming to my house for a year now, every Saturday, and I beat the hell out of the dog for biting you. What's your first reaction?
Well, I mean, that's a problem I got, you know. But for keep coming and getting bit. But
no, you ain't getting bit. No, he only bit you once.
Yeah, I understand.
And now I'm still beating the hell out of the dog though. Every time you see me, because he bit you at one time, long time ago.
Right.
What's your reaction?
Right. Well, that would be excessive.
Exactly. I was wondering whether you're gonna be intellectually honest with that. Yeah. Because if we keep,
but that's not what we're talking about.
No, but if we keep beating the hell out of white folks for what they
nobody's beating anybody.
But well, figuratively we are. We are trying to put guilt on the generations.
Absolutely here. Not. What we're doing is we're taking the question of race into the same scientific conversations that you take everything else. You had that commercial on testosterone, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now that's factual.
That's factual.
Right? It's measurable, right? And when you use the same methodology in determining low T, in determining whether you have a thyroid problem, and you bring race into it, into the same scrutiny.
You change the issue. That's true.
No, it's the same scrutiny though, right? The conclusions that are being drawn and have been drawn are illogical, unreasonable, unscientific. You see what I'm saying? It holds no weight, right? Because
the purpose for the testosterone conversation is to let people know that even if you have a problem, there is a solution.
And the
to
purpose
that
of having,
problem.
of course, the conversation about race is to identify the problem and to identify the solution. But if you mystify the problem, you'll never get to the
But what if the
solution.
problem doesn't really exist anymore?
Oh, it very much so exists. That's why it's qualitative and
But
quantitative.
isn't that an interpretation?
No, it's facts. That's why I said let's bring the data in and let's talk about it.
That's
See, that's
that
you see
has
what
to
I'm
be for
saying?
part two.
Yeah.
Because
But I don't
I
think we
really
don't have the data, Kevin. That's just it. We're just up here generalizing now.
but there's no reason in America today, in my opinion, that a person who's willing to put in the work can't be successful.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's enforced in the bill itself. See, in the bill itself is rhetoric that bans anything that challenges what you just said. See, that's a presupposition. You see, embedded in the bill is propaganda, historic propaganda in the bill itself. That's why I just read
So
it.
you don't believe my statement was true?
No, I think which one?
I said, if you're willing to put in the work in America today, there's an opportunity for you to be very successful.
The whole purpose of injustice nullifies it. The whole purpose of injustice is to nullify what you just
Injustice
said.
of the past or your perception of injustice in the future?
The continuance of a system that began around 1492 and has matured up until this point. See, Donald Trump was tripping about 1619, right? But historically, we don't have to start there. Let's start 1492, and we can work our way up. And I can show you a consistency of things, in particularly the occupation of land, the exploitation of natural resources,
But everybody,
the imposition.
everybody in the world has done it.
Exactly, they sure have. You're exactly right. But how can we claim to be exclusive to things when we've lived the very things that we think are unique to us and not other people?
Would you agree that if most of America did not call itself Christians, white folks wouldn't like folks anything?
Well, first
Nothing.
of all, you don't have to be a Christian to enslave somebody, and you don't have to be a Christian to indemnify.
No.
somebody.
What I'm telling you, but do away with that moral aspect. Then to the victor goes the spoil. We were the spoils. We were the booty because we were given away by our own homeland to come to America. So two white guys just want to put all them black folks on a boat and no help from black
No,
folks?
that's not how it started, Kevin. Watch this. Let me ask you this. When Europeans began to go into West Africa, right? How long do you think it took for a slave trade to begin?
Geico saving folks lots of money.
How long? Do people, they come in on the boat, you see all these boats on the horizon. Oh, let's let them in. It didn't happen like that.
I didn't say that.
That's what you thought.
But they did. But there had to be help from the people who were there.
Okay, absolutely. Now, why did the Pilgrims come to America? What were they escaping?
Tyranny.
Thank you. Where has there been evidence that African people left West Africa to escape tyranny? Migrated somewhere because they didn't like where they were.
Okay, I got to go back and take a couple calls, Dr. White. Again, we never have enough time for this, so we got to make this a regular monthly thing so we can get your point across. Good morning on air.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, I'll give you about a minute too, so sorry about that.
I've heard the name, but I haven't. You know, I'm not educated. Okay, and her name again was.
Okay, what was the woman's name again?
What's her name again? Marie
Okay,
Bankhead.
that's a street called Bankhead around the
But Kevin, when you, like I said, when you look at the bill, see, it sanctions all types of behavior of discussions, and then it says that you can't challenge the fact that in white supremacy and slavery are diversions, right, from American fundamentals. When in all actuality, the argument could be that it is. But see, here's the thing, Kevin, whether it is or whether it isn't is not the point. You shouldn't tell us how to presuppose. You see what I'm saying? You shouldn't stifle the conversation when people have evidence to the contrary.
Good morning, caller, you on air.
You shouldn't have the opportunity to do that.
Good morning. Pretty good.
morning. But my thing is, I was growing up Alabama, got commercials that you're running for re-election saying that we don't teach our kids to hate. How do you respond to that, sir?
Yeah, I mean, here again, when you don't teach the truth of history and you make it a point to demonize one group or just simply to eliminate one group from the conversation, you've hated them in a way unlike any kind of physical abuse that you can put
That's a
on
little
someone.
propaganda right there.
Yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely.
Good morning, caller. You're there. Good morning. Okay then. Whosoever. Okay.
That's right. That's in the Bible.
It's an interesting conversation, but again, my question is, what's the purpose? It's if you had to mix
What's
it
the
up.
purpose of the bill? Kevin?
Well, I know the
Let's
purpose.
focus on House Bill 3.
Here's what I
The
think.
whole purpose.
Here's what I think. Again, it's just what I think, and you know me.
Yeah, you're a deep thinker.
Here's what I think. I think that white people have been assuaged guilt for years. The people who didn't like what was going on back in those days, but they were in the same position that black folks were. If they was poor and white, they was in the same position. They don't want to be categorized because of their color as being a participant in those activities or any part of that apparatus back in those days because they happen to be white.
No, it's not that, because they happen to be in power, and they happen.
But they weren't in power.
They happen to take advantage of and perpetuate. See, that's.
But not everybody. Not all white folks did that.
See, Kevin, but this is what this bill wants
And I ain't
to
white.
do. This is what the bill wants to do, right? This bill wants to eliminate conversations like the one that I had in my contemporary issues class when I was in the 11th grade. Kevin, let me finish.
Okay.
At Dayville High School, right?
Mhm.
With Miss Davis. She's still living. She's my history, government, right?
Mhm.
And it was those conversations that we had that actually got my intellectual ball rolling, right? Now, when you stifle teachers from being able to discuss critical issues, right? What you're doing is you're handicapping the population, right? Now, that's by design. The whole purpose of this is to create a population of people who cannot speak intelligently, reasonably, and rationally about a subject matter that is of utmost importance.
But you just poo-pooed what I said, the other facet of this conversation that needs to be had also. And black folks got to understand, all white folks are not benefactors of white supremacy.
Well, Kevin, I did not even start off with that. I started off with
you
the
brought
fact
that
of
word up.
limiting the conversation.
I understand.
And there's a political benefit, right?
But that's why they want to limit the conversation, because
Exactly.
it categorizes everybody in the same corral.
No, it identifies the origin of the problem. The origin of the problem is not white people. The origin of the problem are white people who think they're better than black people and will use government to enforce it. That's the problem.
Right. And how does my child? Never mind. We don't have enough time. We got to come back.
That's the
It's
problem.
over, right? We'll have to, when you come back.
Of course, Kevin.
All right, then. 'Cause we certainly ain't even got done with this conversation.
Yeah. But we got to address these crazy bills because
Yeah.
you're going to look up. We can't teach anything anymore.
Okay. All right. We need to teach you how to fill out an application.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. But when you check that box black on that application, what you going to get?
Good morning, I'm Jasmine Williams from WSFA 12.
I will say one thing. I think Southern people have this asphyxiation to the past to the extent it immobilizes us sometimes. Because all white folks, I mean, you know, there's Ruby Sales. I don't know if you know who she is, but she was on the show one day, and I found out about it by listening to TED Talk. It was a white man who pulled her out of the way of a shotgun, and he took the blast itself.
Sure.
We never hear about those stories. So evidently he wasn't interested in white supremacy.
Yeah, but that doesn't redeem anything. You see what I'm saying? I mean, it has no redeeming value to it because the overwhelming tide, you see what I'm saying? The overwhelming sentiment that was appropriate. And the reason why we know that was appropriate because white people did not get convicted for lynching and killing and murdering black people.
That's true. But again, even today, a lot of black folks ain't getting killed for killing black folks.
Well, absolutely. But the root is here again. The root is the fact of it, because if the statistics show that black people do get a far greater sentence for killing a white person than killing a black person.
There's a solution to that. Don't kill nobody. I mean, I hear it. It may be unfair, but
no.
Don't do it.
Ultimately, absolutely. I mean, nobody is defending criminal behavior. That doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about. What we're talking about is the government telling teachers what to teach.
I do have
government.
I do have somewhat a problem with that. But so you don't think it ought to be college level though? You don't think it ought to be college level? It shouldn't be in the 12th grade and below. Do you believe that? I don't think it should be in the 12th grade or below. At least not the 10th grade and below. Maybe 11th and 12th grade, you ought to be mature enough.
You have to have critical conversations about race as soon as race comes up.
Russia's very influential.
I realized I was that short.
But you got to have critical conversations about race as soon as the topic emerges. And so you see what I'm saying? So if you got all this stuff going on television, and you got all these people raising all kind of saying all this type of stuff, and you can't talk about what the rudiment of that is in the classroom, nobody's going to trust your classroom.
Well, I think there has to be intellectual honesty.
Your classroom has to be the place where information is dispatched. And if you start pushing teachers around and telling them what they can teach and what they can't teach, and then threatening to fire them.
But aren't we always told what we can teach and can't teach? You can't teach the most explicit parts of sexual education.
Right, exactly. And we don't, and neither is critical race theory taught in elementary school or this, that, and other. But the truth.
So where should it start?
It should start with the toddlers.
They're gonna grow up mad.
Man, no. Because the human experience is what it is. Let me tell you, I took my daughter to when she was in preschool, right?
Mm-hmm.
I took my daughter to this private school out of East Montgomery for the summer program, right? Now she's a little kid, she's 5 years old, right? She walks in and she sees all those white kids and she backs up. You see what I'm saying? And then she turns and she does like this.
But that's your fault.
And she said, I don't want to go in there. No, you know, she saw eyes on the prize.
Well,
you see what I'm saying?
Right, and
you see what I'm saying?
Right, and her
this is what
mind,
she did. She associated, right?
And that's the problem with this CRT stuff.
But see, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. That's not the problem with the CRT, because CRT didn't have nothing to do with this. It had to do with the fact that she had been educated on the
or indoctrinated, however you want to say.
No. It wasn't enough to be indoctrinated. You see what I'm saying?
But she responded to a perception that she got from watching.
She responded from an association.
Right.
What was done to her people that videoed the movie.
And is that fair?
And the propensity for is safe. See, because what it does is, I mean, you see what I'm saying? But see, so what if you just walk in there? You see what I'm saying? Look, you just walk in there.
That'd be me.
Hey, y'all.
See, that'd be me. I'm just going in there like it's all cool.
Yeah. And see, that's what happened with a lot of black people that come into places that are like that, and they expect everything to be fine. They expect to be treated like equal. But I
gotta tell you something. I gotta tell you that you can go to a group, but you can go to a group of black folks and not be treated fairly.
Absolutely.
So
I agree.
The worst people in my life that ever treated me bad were black folks.
Yeah.
Black folks used to treat me bad for being dark complected.
Yeah.
I mean, so I caught them both ends.
Yeah. But see, but you know what though?
Yeah.
But addressing the issue in a classroom is where
it's probably
the solution begins.
Okay. I can live with that statement.
You see what I'm saying? Because what that's called, and what we talk about in my class, that's called colorism.
But you have to be intellectually mature enough to be able to digest that information.
You see, when you teach a child, right, how to intellectually defend themselves, you see what I'm saying? See, because what a kid will say, am I ugly? Or am I? You see what I'm saying?
Well, that's true.
All these people telling me this, so I'm gonna have to be strong enough to have enough information.
Yeah.
To defeat what it is that they're trying to.
I mean, theoretically,
trying to be imposed.
Theoretically, what you say has a modicum of truth to it.
Okay, but let me say this. Theoretically, because I don't, theoretically is not a good word. But I mean, but here's the thing though. I can say experientially that a child that has a strong foundation in who they are will never look at themselves as being ugly.
I agree with that.
You see what I'm saying? And so
I
if
agree
you
with
thought you were ugly, or if people, you see what I'm saying, and you accepted it, it was purely because you were not intellectually strong enough to defend against the lunacy that they threw at you.
But couldn't that same thing then go with kids who commit suicide?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. See, because the thing is that you don't, especially with teaching the black struggle, is because the black struggle wasn't intellectual, it was mental. You see, you have a kid. That's why the kids in my church, when we go down to Selma, they talk to the foot soldiers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the foot soldiers tell you all the stuff that they've been through, and all of the stuff that, you see what I'm saying, that they had to face, and they faced it. They didn't commit suicide. They did. You see what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm still sitting there talking to him, so I'll give you a number. All right.
You see? So
you want to know?
Yeah. Hey, that's a bad way. Really. No, sure. I'm leaving. What's your number?
The top number. I'll just check. 470-818. 4848.
Yeah. So that's the thing, is that when you teach the kids the history, especially the white kids, it gives them a sense